We are live. And yes, we are late. There was an interesting side tangent about toilets and etymology that I really should have hit go live for, but
Only the finest of content.
good evening and happy new year to everybody. I think this is the first stream of the new year.
Is it now?
I suppose it is, isn't it?
It's been it's been over a year since the last time we did one of these style streams as well. The pack cracking specifically, not Arknights.
Well, it's been like
a hot minute since we did Arknights, though. We never did finish that tier list.
No, I'm gonna have to pull that up. That's after we crack packs, we can crack open the tier list once more.
We'll just have to basically restart.
Give the people what they want. Yeah, we'll just speed run the first part, see how much my tastes have changed.
Have you become wiser in your years?
And what else? Oh, now that a sufficiently ambiguous amount of time has passed as well, I can also talk about my what I did on vacation.
I actually even haven't heard this yet myself, so yes.
Which, as you may have noticed, the astute viewer will notice that the playmat in the thumbnail, whose details I hid, is not the same playmat in the webcam right now.
Is there a bonus super? Actually, can you share it in the Discord still?
Oh shoot! Did I not do that?
Because the stream's about
live
15 seconds behind.
How about now?
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
Okay. Apparently, if I minimize that, it I guess shuts it off for you guys. So I won't do that anymore. Yes, there's a secret surprise playmat as well. But and this
I
one
actually don't recognize any of the characters on the one on stream.
This one is Hatsune Miku and friends. Here, imagine she is holding a leek. Oh, I think my camera may also be frozen because I just tried to point to Miku and nothing showed up.
I saw it.
Oh, really? Is it too?
Yeah.
Let's see if it shows up on the stream.
Oh, it's not showing up in OBS, which isn't very helpful.
Scuff. Our old friend.
Has there ever been a stream that hasn't had technical difficulties?
No, because everyone's just decided to suffer through OBS instead of, I mean, it's a really good tool, but sometimes it'll just break in ways that you're like, it says it's working fine, but it's not. Like, it's like, yeah, the camera's good. Obviously the camera's good because it showed up on stream. But now I cannot monitor to make sure that I'm putting stuff in the right place.
Quick, remember how you did it an entire year ago.
Okay. We're just gonna have to rewatch the entire stream to figure out how I did it. Hello? So you're seeing that.
Yeah.
I'll probably see it in a few seconds on stream here. Or is it not showing up in stream either?
The stream camera is also a little bit zoomed in, which makes me think it's not picking up anything.
Oh, you're right. The camera is way more zoomed out. Which, hang on, is this? It's weird because I can control the camera in the settings, and that's where I have it zoomed all the way out. Interesting. Oh, so OBS is really scuffed with it right now.
What if you were to minimize your application, like stop streaming on Discord?
Stop streaming on Discord. Oh, is it because I have the camera open that it's
Maybe it won't let itself
Not
Well, just in
happening.
case
on two
it's
apps.
worth a shot. Try waving your hand on the mat.
Oh yeah, because it started doing stuff in OBS again now.
Oh, yep.
Oh, that's
I'm seeing
exciting.
movement on stream.
That still doesn't explain why it's way more zoomed in on OBS. Configure video. Brightness, contrast, camera control. Yeah, it zoomed all the way out. Huh. That's a shame. I guess we just have to deal with a smaller field of view on OBS. Well, here, I'll tell you what I'll do then. You guys get to see the behind the scenes.
Hello, Scuffness, my old friend.
There you go.
I am quivering in anticipation.
Quiver no more.
Oh, that works.
Yeah, you guys just get to see my beautiful minds.
Yours is a lot more effort put into it than mine.
Alright, anyway, as I was saying, this is Miku. This is Luca. I'm not sure who this is. And then also...
I would explain it because I know basically nothing about Vocaloid.
But I know it exists.
Also has this guy. I think that's Taito. And the twins, who I think are Rin and Ren, or Rin and Lim or something. I'm probably confusing them with the two from Res Zero.
So they all go to Miku's Vocaloid high school or whatever.
Something like that. In this case, they all go to Skytown. So this particular Miku is the rare snow Miku that is like the official mascot of like part of Hokkaido.
What a magical place.
Yeah. So there's an entire Snow Miku shop on the top floor of the airport.
I would absolutely at least shop there once.
That's what I thought
wouldn't.
too.
You know what I love about Japan? They're not nearly as self-conscious as the English-speaking world.
Yeah.
You can't do anything with sincerity in the English-speaking parts
There's
of the
less
world.
irony poisoning, that's for sure.
Yeah, they were just like this. Yeah, they're like Snow Miku is the mascot for our island, so here's a whole shop and museum dedicated to Snow Miku specifically.
Exactly. And they'll just do it.
It's right across
it's
from
charming.
the giant Gundam store in the airport. And the other good thing I learned from this is that apparently it is now the trend for these oversized mouse pads to be called desk mats. I guess so you can fit your mouse and your whole keyboard on them. The upside to me as a gamer is that they're the exact same size as a card game playmat. So now, stuff that has little to do with gaming is still getting gaming accessories made for it in the form of desk mats.
Speaking personally, I actually appreciate that. Like the keyboard thing.
I could use a new
'Cause-
one myself because mine. I have one of those types of desk mats, but it's an older one, so it's just kind of this black with a little bit of red on it.
Mm.
Nothing specific. You know, I bought it from Best Buy probably back in 2018, and it's been drenched in more coffee than you can imagine.
Mm.
This is such a nice mat. Looking at it, I would hate to dump coffee all over it.
I know, I'm like, if I put the keyboard on it, all I see is everybody's feet.
For some people, that
Yeah.
could be a feature, I'm sure, but
I've got one where it's large enough that I can move my mouse around, which is nice when I'm playing a first-person shooter like, I don't know, Hell Let Loose or MechWarrior Online. but it's not so large that I can comfortably put the keyboard on it.
Mm.
Also, it's pretty much all black, which I like, but I can also see, like, let me put it this way, there are white spots where I've had the speaker and mouse resting on it, so you can kind of see the exact patterns my mouse has made when I'm shooting.
Mm.
It's like when furniture sits in the same spot for too long and it sinks into the carpet.
Mm.
Yep, exactly like that.
You know, these are also about the right size for like gun cleaning mats, but I'm not sure if they use the same material.
It would also kind of be a waste to spill CLP on that.
Yeah, everything would be covered in carbon so quickly.
Anyway, we are here to summon the hive mind.
Oh, apparently the brown hair girl's name is Mako. I don't know if I've ever heard music using her.
Good to know.
All right, so hidden underneath as a layer of snow, as it were. So, speaking of mascots, so not only does Hokkaido have Snow Miku here, but there's a chain of discount bookstores in Japan, cleverly titled Book Off. And there's one such store in Sapporo, south of Odori Park. And that specific store has its own specific mascot that they gave a live 2D avatar to use in advertisements for said store. And they decided to like really lean into the live 2D mascot thing because they're also like, oh, she's also like an idol character, and we will sell merch of her as well as if she were like a virtual idol. That also means they made playmats of her.
See what I mean when I say unself-conscious?
A magical place.
Huh.
Cats.
That's very cute.
Man, all right, I gotta figure out what's going on with the OBS camera here. It's way too zoomed in to full it here. All right, we're gonna risk moving the camera here. There you go.
Ooh, fancy.
Now you can appreciate it in its full glory. So now when I'm playing Magic the Gathering alone, by myself, testing out decks, it feels like I have an opponent.
It's like she's right there.
I can almost see the two untapped islands.
So in other words, you're never going to play another card, huh?
No. Although I have gone to the dark side.
One of us. One of us.
So they make play mats. They make acrylic stands in the Book Off apron.
Okay, the first person to do this here, I would buy stuff like this.
Yeah, it worked. I was like, this is unique. Like, because I've been to many a Book Off, but never one that was like, here, we have our own special mascot specific to our one store of the thousands across the country.
It's just like 1,000 years in the future.
I do wonder, like, just thinking about why Japan has this stuff and we don't. Millie, have we brought up your theory on Japanese food and later expanded to craftsmanship in general on stream?
Is
Maybe that it all stems from them having their swords and guns taken away from them?
No, that they don't have much of anything, so what they do have, they make very well.
Oh, that too.
I do wonder if that's related to why Japan gets all the cool merch and we don't.
Hmm.
Like,
There's
they just have that cultural link of just doing stuff.
yeah, we have
Not
scarce
everything has to be
resources. So,
maximized.
yeah, we can't mass produce the same way, so everything's got to be real good. Which then did get compounded historically when they banned swords, because then all the swordsmiths are like, well, I'm a highly skilled, technical, and detailed craftsman, and you took away the thing I can make, so now I'm going to make the world's best pipes and tobacco pouches.
So what you're saying is there is a direct link between the Meiji Restoration and Pokemon.
This playmat exists because of Commodore Perry.
Thank you, Perry. Thank you, America.
When you put
I
it like
hope
that,
you're happy. Yeah, no.
You ever watch this old show called How It's Made or Connections, I think?
It rings a bell.
I think I've seen
where
some
they-
clips.
Their whole thing is just showing the link between, like, I don't know, the exact size of a safety belt and 15th century German agriculture in the Black Forest region, that sort of thing.
Oh, is this for the whole, like, the width of a donkey's ass actually determined the dimensions of the space rocket?
No, that was a Twitter thing hopping on the trend.
Ah.
Completely unrelated to the show, but that was the general vein of the show. I feel like that's us, but like TCGs and the Black Fleet.
Good morning, dear.
Which means we can also directly thank Millard Fillmore. Because he's the one who sent Perry on his great commission to open the country and stop having it be closed.
You want to show chat? Oh, dang. One of my friends got this.
What? Oh my goodness.
Have you seen this?
No, I have not seen this.
One of your friends sent this to us, I think. We got 2 of them. Chat. This is our relationship chat.
Which, I guess I know which friends, but... Have I ever
Why do I
told
feel
you
like I've seen
guys...
this before?
Have I ever told you guys the lore behind this meme with Minna and I specifically?
I have not, and I gotta say, I'm not sure where this is going.
Right, so you're familiar with this meme, yes?
Yeah, with like this small sassy child.
Yeah, no, this is the guy who wanted tard wife meme. So, dear Minna sends this meme to me. And then has a bit of a moment when I point out the joke to her, which she did not catch because she's dyslexic.
Now that's
So-
just cruel.
Somehow it actually fits perfectly,
Yes,
completely unintentionally.
indeed. I suppose we also have Millard Fillmore to thank for this meme somehow.
Oh, you always do.
Well, yeah.
Hand me the paper. Like, just hand me the stack of paper down with those papers.
Oh. Also, I don't know if our friend realizes this, but the version of the meme he printed off is the Conoco Lumia version. Though speaking of Western influence in Japan, though, so Sapporo is really interesting as a city because it was essentially built from the ground up as a modern westernized city. Because there had been
Good beer too.
the Ainu people living in Hokkaido, and I think some Japanese had settled around there too. But it wasn't until like 1868. I didn't save any museum pamphlets, but like well into the 19th century, when Sapporo was founded, and they were like, all right, we're establishing a commission for the development of the northern regions. We're going to build a beautiful big red stone or red brick Western style building as the administrative center. We're going to lay down from the start, like, all right, we got this river and we got this fire break, so we'll go, east and north of the river. We'll put the industrial stuff like the brewery. Admin will be west of the river, north of the fire break, and then everything south of the fire break will be residential.
And what a great brewery it is.
I got to take a tour of it, of the old building. There was not a lot of brewery stuff left in it. But the history there was interesting too, because they founded it when before they called it Sapporo, it was just the Kaitakuchi Brewery, because that was their general term for like the northern region development project. So they sent a Japanese guy to Germany to become a brewmaster and bring all their secrets back to Japan to start brewing in Hokkaido. Because originally they wanted to build the brewery in Tokyo, and then, this guy comes back and he's like, so, what are you going to do for ice? How are you going to keep everything cold?
What an eminently practical question.
And they're like, well, we got an island full of snow to the north. Let's just move the brewery there.
Somehow that sounds exactly like the answer the Imperial Japanese would have come up with.
We will go to where the snow is. So they build the brewery in Hokkaido, and then just slowly start making improvements over time as they bring in more Western knowledge and technology. Which, interesting point there as well. The other big economic boon to Hokkaido as they started developing it was the introduction of Western canning technology. Because now, instead of having to enjoy all of the great fish and game meat yourselves, you could now preserve it, package it, and sell it down south.
Heard they have great skiing there, too.
That I did not get to check out, but the mountains were very cool looking.
And then there's the Sapporo Snow Festival, which I would love to see at some point.
Yep, that one goes in February. At the point I was there, because I was like, that's going to be way too busy to go to. So I'm like, let's go during the off season. But we were... Hang on, your child? Yes?
Well, he's off. That is the problem with all the tourist stuff. Like, everyone wants to see it. It's like Oktoberfest in Germany. Good in theory. In practice, everyone is there.
I gotta go hand printer paper to somebody.
And that's why the concept of the off-season was invented.
Yes, but what's the off season for Oktoberfest?
Yeah. It's called Oktoberfest at home.
Exactly.
I actually have been to a couple Oktoberfests that are like locally held. This is obviously not Germany. There's this guy that my dad used to work with. They're Bavarian, their family is. And so they just hosted these Oktoberfests at their house. Now, they were pretty well off type of people, if you know what I mean. So this was like a big production. Kegs of beer, all this fresh food brought in. There was a German band.
I've been to something similar.
So it's kind of getting that vibe without the 10 million people crowd. It was only like 100 people.
Yeah. In my case, it was a retired general who also did his own brewing. Who had been stationed in Germany, which is where he picked it up. So
that's the direction I think my family's going, because my dad's been taking up craft brewing.
It seems like everyone is these days, honestly.
It's a fun hobby, and his stuff, honestly, he quote unquote ruined a batch of it, and it was like some of the best beer I've ever had.
Yeah, I'm not saying this to disparage anyone. It just seems like older men, way too much time on their hands. Everybody likes beer, and it's the easiest kind of brewing to get into. So, hey, let's take up brewing.
Chesterton would be happy.
So whenever I get to that stage in life, I'm going to do probably whiskey instead.
I mean, from what I understand, the mash is much easier to deal with than. Do you remember that trend like 20 or 30 years ago where everyone was trying to make wine in their kitchen sink?
I remember that trend like 100 years ago, but.
Oh. It was kind of big, late 90s, early aughts. Might be showing my age here. It also fizzled out fairly rapidly because wine is very finicky.
I'm just going to see real quick if changing the camera settings here tricks OBS into like zooming out more.
But didn't mean to sidetrack us.
Oh no, that's what this
this
channel is all about. Interesting side tangents to the previous asides.
Can you imagine if we ever started a stream and then stuck with the theme of that stream the entire time?
Chat's been sitting here the whole time being like, open the cards already, open the cards.
I wonder how many people clicked on, saw that this was going for 30 minutes, and there's no cards.
There's still been no cards opening. Which, going back several tangents ago, when I said I had joined the dark side... Hang on. Can I...
So there will be cards.
There will be cards. Camera control. Alright, we're going to try zooming in and then zooming out. What if OBS is doing some dumb thing where it's like inverted the zoom, and so that's why it's so zoomed in? If I go halfway down the bar and hit apply...
That's possible, but I
see no difference.
Yeah, your Discord stream matches up perfectly with the YouTube stream. So.
Oh, okay. So I guess it's whenever the streaming thing tries to interpret the camera that it does this zoom thing. Because when I look at like the camera preview just in like my settings, it's got a much wider field of view that shows off more. Oh, nope, now it's matched. Okay, well. Alright, we're going to be zoomed in. So, Hararuya is the name of a card shop chain in Japan. And inside this box is yet another box. And inside this box...
Apparently, we are very good background noise for our audience's work.
Is yet another box.
I really can't object because that's also what I look for in streams.
That is true. I do that way more than I actually watch the stream. Inside this box, there's nothing, because as it turned out, after I bought this box to hold a small amount of cards, this is apparently not a card box. This is apparently what you're supposed to put like your damage counters or something in. So
wait, it's not actually large enough to fit cards in?
No, it is just slightly too small, which I think is dumb. However, because it is smaller, it is also just the right size that you can fit it in your deck box with your cards. So I
would love to have sat in on the design process for that. Yes, let's make a box for our card game, which is the exact right proportion to fit cards in, but we're going to make it just slightly too small to actually fit cards.
That way you can fit it in the box. Which, maybe if I could read Japanese better, I would have realized it was not a card box. But so this will probably go to one of the boys to hold, snails or rocks or something. And so this box is not the Arknights cards, but sorry, I'm following up from a tangent from before. Oh yeah, back to the other tangents from before. Yeah, so like we went to visit the famous, red brick administration center, the former governor's office of Sapporo, and they just hand us these as we go in because this is part of like their campaign they have going on with the giant cardboard cutout of Snow Miku inside the historic governor's office.
I do love the Japanese.
Also, Hokkaido has an amazing. Speaking of flags, Hokkaido has a good flag.
What would the American equivalent of that be? It's like you come visit somewhere here and we hand you like cheeseburgers and guns.
See, when I think about this a lot actually when I'm buying anime merch, because I'm like, if I went into, I don't know, where was that place? Martel and I visited someplace in the East Coast that was like a historic British governor's office, right? If we had gone into that office and they had a cutout of Mickey Mouse or something, like I would die of cringe.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean there, but that's because in America we're just entirely too self-conscious, and the Japanese are just so delightfully unself-conscious about it. Like they still retain the capacity to just enjoy things even when it's completely ridiculous.
Yeah, I tricked you. It's actually a Magic the Gathering stream.
Boo. I'm leaving.
But, so I go into this card shop and they've got, they've got the singles for sale, they've got the packs, and then they also have basically like they made their own booster packs. So they've got this like case of cards with like, S tier, A tier, B tier, and it's like highly priced booster packs that are basically like you will get 14 bulk rares that are, worth like $1 each. And then you'll get one trade-in card set that's either BA or S tier that you can trade in for any of the cards in this case. So I'm looking at the case, and up at the S tier they've got like Intuition, like the $1 to $200 cards, Intuition, Foil, Gemstone, Cavern, Caves of Aglaron stuff. And then down in the B tier, I'm like, there's some stuff in here that's not like you would lose money if you bought this booster pack and traded it in for one of these cards. And then they had Bristly Bill, who in the US is currently worth quite a lot. And I was like, if I buy this pack, even if I buy the lowest tier, in the worst case, I'm getting Bristly Bill for like half price. And if I win bigly, then I walk away with an Intuition for my pre-modern deck for like a fourth of the cost.
Genuinely, are they allowed to do that? And I do mean I don't actually know how much control subsidiaries have over how they sell the cards.
Yeah, they're allowed to do that because they're essentially just selling you singles. Because when they get the packs from the company, from WotC, like they're just buying. Stores cannot buy singles direct from Wizards of the Coast. They're just, when stores sell singles, they're just buying packs, opening them, and selling the single cards.
Gotcha.
On a secondary market that Wizards officially does not acknowledge, but they totally acknowledge by evidence of what they choose to reprint when.
Which has led into some very heated discussions about meta commanders, I think.
Yeah, so that's why this guy is so expensive, is because the commander players want him because he's a good commander. He's good in standard, and I think there's some legacy formats that also run him. and he was printed in one set recently, which also means he's not getting reprinted anytime soon. So everybody wants the Cactus Man.
Didn't mean to sidetrack us from the previous tangent, but
The that's all right. I got another tangent to start up because I forget.
Oh, no.
Have we talked about wife goggles on stream?
we have.
So the reason I was like, I'm gonna grab this guy is because I'd also the wife goggles struck, and I also picked up
Oh boy.
the foil Tifa from the Final Fantasy set.
Tifa.
I have met your wife. She does not look anything like Tifa.
She looks kind of like Tifa.
Not even in the slightest.
I don't know what you're talking about. The
I
eye
don't know.
color.
I don't know what she looks like.
The
I
eye
can't
color is different.
offer any comparison.
The-
Does she punch
Yes,
stuff?
I mean, aside from the eye color, the hair color, the shape of the face, the shape of the body, the height, she looks exactly like Tifa.
She's got dark hair. I don't know how tall Tifa's canonically supposed to be. And she shapeshifts when she's got babies.
Sure.
You know,
Whereas I look
I've
more like
already
this.
acknowledged the phenomenon of wife goggles, so I'm not going to go.
Anyway, the real tangent was I've become a filthy blue-black control player squirrel.
Hooray.
So I found Japanese psychotogs.
See, from everything I've heard, black actually sounds like the kind of deck I would play, but blue sounds like every single deck that I have ever hated in every card game I've ever tried.
Yes. Black is super
That's
fun.
part of the fun.
Black is my favorite color.
What exactly is fun about I play this card? It's a setup for a great combo about 2 or 3 turns down the road. Oh, my opponent just played a card, which the effect reads,
You
remove
don't
all
get to
cards from
play
the
this
board,
card.
send them immediately to the graveyard. Lol.
Well, see, that's actually more white and black than it is blue.
There's
I thought blue
a
was the control one.
yeah, blue. So
Yeah, but
here,
it's like
hang on.
counter spells.
Yeah, so blue runs stuff like this. This
You may
one's
return an
especially
island
fun.
You control to its owner. Wait, you may return an island you control to its owner's hand.
So they
It's
say that
basically
there's
instead of playing.
paying the
excuse me.
cost, I can just bounce one of my lands back to my hand. The reason
Okay.
it says control versus owner is that technically I could steal somebody's island, and then if I bounced it with days, it would go back to their hands, not mine.
Well, but that's still that's just I would consider that utility more than control. When I think control and I just start hating things, it's like to use a Hearthstone example, I play a 7-cost legendary. My opponent plays a 1-cost minion that he gets to pick any minion I control and instantly kill it. No saves allowed.
Oh yeah,
So that's more of
black
Hearthstone
control.
just being horrifically balanced.
Oh yeah, or
Yes.
that. Like that at least costs something in Magic. I actually liked when removal was more limited in Magic.
Yeah, I
You
just
got some
Like Grand
interesting
Magic sucks,
flavor.
but you know.
I don't like the pick a card and remove it type cards.
Oh, like Terminate.
I don't know what that does, but probably.
This one says destroy target creature, it can't be regenerated. To be fair, you do need black and red to play it.
I don't exactly know what the cost is, but does it at least cost something?
Yeah,
It
That-
costs
that's-
2 mana.
that's about 2 to 3
Oh.
mana is about fair for removal in Magic.
Okay,
At least in competitive, like in limited formats, they'll like spread the cost around more. So like you'll get really efficient stuff like this, but then you'll also get stuff that costs more for about the same effect. Although here you have
I
to be
just-
running 2 colors, so it'll like there's a cost
just from
in
a
and of
personal
itself there.
perspective, if I play some super powerful legendary creature, I want my opponent to at least have to spend 1 or 2 cards to remove it instead of just
Well, it depends on the creature.
Pick an opponent's card and irrevocably remove it from the
And
board.
the other thing too is with cards like this that are like straight up creature removals, you're only going to have like 4 of those in your deck. And
Oh,
they're
yeah, I
60
don't-
card decks, typically speaking. So it's not like they always have one in hand, unless it depends on how you build your deck, really. And if they are using a card for removal, they're not using it to advance their own board state. So it's just like this math of how much is it worth it. It does mean that there's counterplays to legendary creatures that are really, really like fat bodies. That means you don't instantly lose when the opponent puts a fat body down. It's just this tug of war kind of thing that goes back and forth. So removal is an important
you've
part
actually,
of the game.
You've hit on a very often discussed game concept with your example there of needing 1 or 2 cards to remove it, is the idea of card advantage, which most TCGs deal with. There's some where the mechanics are built that card advantage isn't as much a thing. Magic, it's very much a thing, which is like typically it's like whoever has the most ammo tends to win a gunfight, right? Like,
right. And if you don't if the other guy decks out first, you lose. That's most TCGs.
Right. So decking out is fairly rare unless you're fighting a deck whose win condition is I deck the opponent out. So card advantage typically refers to cards in hand, cards on the board, and then also like how do I efficiently play my cards, right? So like drawing cards is card advantage. That's why Pot of Greed is banned in Yu-Gi-Oh. Because it's way too good.
And of course, Pot of Avarice.
But to your example, like having to use 2 cards to kill 1 creature would be considered negative card advantage, which is why a creature that requires that many cards to kill would have to be costed appropriately because of that fact, and also why players would not play cards where it's like I need to use 2 of these to kill 1 thing because now I've put myself down a card.
Right, but to go back to the Hearthstone legendary example, because that's the one I've played the most. A legendary card is obviously legendary, and there are a lot of cards with overtime effects. Like, for every turn this card remains active, it gains 1 or 1/1. That sort of thing. Or so the frustration comes when you play a card with an overtime effect or a ramp up effect, and it's already expensive. And then the opponent plays a card which just deletes it. No chance to defend it. And that card and the delete card is cheaper than the legendary card you play.
Sounds like that legendary card is just a bad card.
Well, a lot of them were. Or, well, what really happened is it's not so much that the card is bad as that Hearthstone had so many, like, play this card and flip a coin.
Cheap
if it's heads, your opponent loses. If it's tails, you win. Type effects. That there were only ever about 15 cards that were actually viable at any given moment.
And you're also running, what, is it 30 or 40 card decks in Hearthstone?
20, I think.
Oh, okay. So you are going to draw your cheap removal for sure.
Yeah. And there are a ton of Pot of Greed type cards.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that just sounds like Hearthstone's got some design issues, especially like...
It does.
Right, because I imagine the appeal of Hearthstone is I get to play all these cool characters from all these Blizzard things I like, right?
That is a big one, yes.
So I also feel like cheap removal or like easy to kill heroes is bad game design in the sense of like in Magic, it's just like if you want to play the format where you play the cool hero and it sticks around, that's why Commander exists, because every time your commander dies, he just goes back to your command zone and you can play him again at a slightly increased cost. Whereas in like competitive Magic, it's like there's no emotional attachment to the characters per se. It's just like I'm playing the most efficient cards I can.
Well, again, it's not even necessarily about the emotional factor, although that is, again, it's a legendary card. It's got a cool border.
Right. The point is I get to play this card and I get to enjoy having this card on the table and doing things with it.
Yes. Whereas effectively, you need to write off every card as soon as you play it, and if you actually get a second turn with it, well, that's just gravy.
I do recall for the brief time I played Hearthstone, it was very removal happy.
It hasn't. So I played it a fair chunk when it first came out, and then I stopped playing because it was just it stopped being fun because they added so many. Basically, the only two decks that were viable when I originally played it were either Rush or Removal. And then I picked it up again last year just to, see if anything had changed, and it's free. It's not like it cost me anything. And nothing changed at all except the art style got even worse. Well, actually, I say even. The art style was good. The art style is now terrible. And the cards suck. So, yeah.
Sounds like current year Magic.
Actually, yeah, that's a pretty good comparison.
The art's,
having seen some of the current year Magic cards.
The art's gotten a little better in the summer. It's like there was a period where it felt like all the art was bad, and now it feels like they've kind of listened. Like there's still some art that's terrible. Like there's stuff in Edge of Eternities that I'm looking at, and I'm like, this looks like it was AI generated.
I would not be surprised at all if it was AI generated.
There are some artists they've either brought into the fold or brought back that are like Seb McKinnon does beautiful work. So now it's more of a mixed bag. You've got some really good traditional artists working in it, and then some other stuff where you're just like, what is the art direction department doing? Like, trying to find where I put the...
To loop back to the addendum to our previous side tangent, though, I guess that I just don't like removal because my experience is that talking about negative card draw, removal makes it into... removal is itself positive card draw because the cost to remove is usually less than the cost of whatever it is you're saving it for.
Yeah, it usually gives you mana. It has to be efficient to be worth playing.
Yep.
Which is why there's
Which I guess is more of a commentary on Blizzard's terrible design choices with Hearthstone.
Yeah,
and
so like
most of the things they've done the last decade.
You will note that for that the HoloLive official card game borrows heavily from the Pokemon card game, which is a format that has no removal because the whole point is that your characters stick around and fight each other and deal damage over time.
Which is a perfectly valid design choice. Actually, if I could just give an example of, I think the example, the part where I just lost interest completely in the game of the first time around with Hearthstone is, I believe it was Yogg-Saron, legendary card.
Yogg-Saron.
Okay,
I know what that one does.
So, the effect of Yogg-Saron,
you're gonna
Old
love
God
this
of
one.
Death, when it is played, and this is taking advantage of a computer game, so I appreciate this. It plays every single spell that has been played by either player in the entire game leading up to this point, targeted on a random target for each spell.
Ooh. That is a red card.
So basically, what it comes out to is when Yogg-Saron is played, someone's going to die. We don't know who, but someone's going to die, especially if fireballs have been getting slung around.
Oh boy.
Because again, every single spell on a completely random target per spell.
That is... Yeah, there's some red cards in Magic that do that, but one, they're incredibly expensive, so they're not viable in most decks. And I don't think any of them are that level of like, the game is over, we're just going to find out who.
Yeah, and also it's the random part of it, because there are far too many cards where the effect is completely random. Of course, there are also a lot of cards that are stupidly overpowered and the effect is not random at all. Like, again, just play a 3-cost minion, then pick an opponent's minion and destroy that minion.
Yeah, this point is true. Yogg Saron being released basically ended Hearthstone as a competitive card game.
Because they didn't ban it in competitive formats.
It's literally pure luck.
Yep, and I remember watching because this was back in Blizzard's, actually I don't know if they ever grew out of it, but during their esports phase where everything had to be an esport because they got lucky with StarCraft 2 and they wanted to corner the market. So they had a Hearthstone League, which I always thought was kind of stupid because of the randomness. Like, there was never a ton of strategy, if we're being honest. It was just,
but it was fun.
I hope you got the right card. I watched it when there was nothing else to do, background noise. And then Yogg Saron came out, and every single match just ends with either a rush deck ending the game before it gets to the point that someone's able to play Yogg Saron, or someone plays Yogg Saron, and then either they lose or their opponent loses. It depends on who gets the Pyroblast to the face, really.
That just also, like, what a weird meta in that, like, why would you play a deck that's so coin flippy like that?
Because
then you don't have to be good.
And also, a 50-50 chance to lose is better than a 25-75.
Oh, so this was just griefers that had entered the competitive scene, basically just to
not even griefers. Like, this was have Yogg Saron. If you're in a losing position, play it. Someone's going to lose.
Okay,
if you're going to lose, if you were going to lose, you were going to lose anyway. So if you lose, then whatever. But if not, then you just won with a single card.
That's very poor design.
It really was. It has not gotten any better, unfortunately. Also, this was the era where rush decks were just the meta, and they've unfortunately never stopped being meta because they're all a bunch of 1 or 2. So Hearthstone mana is on a scale of 1 to 10. You start with, I think, 2 or 3 maybe, and then you get 1 more per turn, and it refills with every turn.
So they don't have land in Hearthstone, just for reference.
Okay. Yeah, okay, so also a fascinating topic.
That concept is fine or whatever, but what it comes out to is you get rush decks, which are 2 or 3 cost creatures, which means that you start playing minions on turn 1. A lot of them actually have rush, which means they can attack the same turn they're played.
Haste.
Yep, no summoning sickness.
Yep. And so the goal is to just beat your opponent before they can actually bring out enough stuff.
So there's the design environment doesn't allow for like mid-range combo or control. Then it was just either I'm playing an aggro deck or I'm playing Yogg Saron if I'm losing.
Let me put it this way: you're playing an aggro deck or you're playing a stall deck. There is no mid game optionally,
Okay.
and Squirrel can. I don't know. Does Magic have taunt?
It has well, not in the same way that Hearthstone does.
Because Magic, you can't attack creatures directly.
Let me put it this way. Taunt is sort of like, it's not Defender. There was something that did this. I don't remember what the keyword was called. But basically, let's say you had a creature with taunt and one without. When you decide to attack, you must attack the taunt creature first. Now, Hearthstone
it had provoke.
You don't.
It had to be where this creature must be blocked if able.
Yes, but the way that blocking works is also a little different. When it's your turn and you attack, you take the creature and you pick the target. There's no I declare attack with the creatures and they pick who blocks who.
It's
Magic
like Duel
does.
Masters.
So attack is to the advantage of the attacker, as opposed to in Magic where it tends to be towards the advantage of the defender.
Which again is a game design choice, but so the whole thing about taunt is that it's kind of a control measure to put things back in the defender's court. And a decent taunt creature can stop a rush deck, except for the part where, and I bring this up again, you've got the 2 or 3 cost silence or return or just flat out removable. So even if you manage to draw a taunt creature, it wouldn't stop the rush deck at all.
So
Not really.
Brief flashback to last time real quick. We had pulled 4 of these, 4 super rares, 2 frame breaks, and then set in Crystal Imperishable as an heirloom of my house. The
best
signature Blaze card.
Everyone's favorite big sister.
You have been gifted a big cat. You must learn to make the most of this situation.
And find joy in it. Let's put it this way, you don't pick Blaze, Blaze picks you.
Alright, as we were.
Yes. No, I've pretty much exhausted the Hearthstone rant, because...
Yeah, it sounds like the card ecosystem was not healthy if the only 2 decks were Rush, Stall, and then Jogsaron if you're losing.
Let me put it this way, this proves that Blizzard doesn't want to lose at anything. This includes, they want to make a worse card game balance-wise than Wizards can, and they proved they could.
Yep. This was, like I said, also in their esports phase, which ruined Heroes of the Storm, which was otherwise a very nice little MOBA. Like, just nice, neat, by MOBA nothing special, definitely not the first one there, but had a bunch of ideas that were rather good, such as shared XP.
Have our sleeves ready from last time as well.
Say again?
I've got the same sleeves from last time ready for any rares that get pulled.
Ah, nice. But yeah, and then Blizzard just destroyed it because they wanted everything to be a super special esports phenomenon. And, well, wouldn't you know, Heroes of the Storm was not as popular as League of Legends nor Dota.
Funnily enough, that was a very good thing, but Blizzard didn't see it that way.
Yeah, also largely because, well, Heroes of the Storm was third on the scene, which meant that League of Legends and Dota had time to build up their entrenched fan base.
This is because of the whole long story, how Blizzard they lost Dota due to various reasons.
Yes, and then
that's a topic that we really don't want to go into. Frankly,
they
it's stupid.
Severely overreacted with Warcraft Refunded. But yeah, basically Blizzard lost out on being. I think I've ranted about this before, but Blizzard as a company died when they stopped being trendsetters and became trend chasers.
So now that we're an hour and a half into the stream, we will finally open this box.
The box. This has just all been pre-gaming. We're getting you guys excited.
We're fair flying along, aren't we?
We're beating our normal record here.
Arknights Volume 2 came out in September. My September was slammed, so I didn't even realize it. Hello, Yukiji Mari, you arrived just in time, or perhaps you've been lurking this entire time, but we're finally giving the people what they want. And good morning as well, Kent1686. Who's been hanging out with us. Alright, so we got Arknights Volume 2. Unfolds. Oh, right, so you can display it.
And I have no idea what this set contains. We're going to find out.
Yeah, because you were saying the last set, prior to me playing a lot of the game, you were saying it basically contained a lot of stuff from basically just like that first bit of story.
Pretty much. Kind of the main characters you see in the first couple chapters, primarily speaking.
Yeah, so I don't know if there'll be spoilers for me in this one like there were in the last one.
I doubt it. because this is not going to be far enough along to. I still think this is like first major story arc, which goes through chapter 8,
Mm,
judging off the artwork.
right. Volume 2. All right. Let's see what
Nice
we get.
hiss.
Yeah, we got to take in that new card smell.
Yeah, so Donkey gets a sword at some point. I think you were tangentially aware of that.
Yeah, I can't remember if she's gotten it yet. And where I'm at.
That does happen later.
The pack correctly. New card smell. All right. Oh, yep, it looks like we got some swords here.
Rosemontis.
If you hold that a little bit lower, it's better in the camera.
Oh, yeah. All right, here we go. Okay, if my thumb is against the camera stand, it looks like that puts the cards in view.
Can't read the Nihongo, but I'm guessing Rosemontis.
Kimi ga no somu mama ni. Probably like this is as far as you go or something. This is an event card.
She has a big, epic, cool Mick moment.
Arena.
Speaking of, have you all seen the news about the next 6-year anniversary event for Arknights?
Yes.
Oh, here we
Oshiguma also.
have. Oh, this is Wait, this isn't the bit from Pasta Wolves, is it?
No, that's
No.
just Penguin Logistics.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or wait, which character is this? This is that's also an event.
Probably Necrosis. Like the story it's from.
Hoshiguma.
Yep.
There she
Level 1
is.
Hoshiguma. I like this artwork.
I like that artwork way better than her default artwork.
Yeah, her default's a little bit scuffed.
The proportion is just wrong.
Mm.
The limbs, I mean. Which, I was thinking about this. It might have been deliberate because she is an Oni, in which case...
She's got bad posture.
Well, in which case, well done on the artist, but if it was deliberate, I still don't like it.
Mm. Well, it looks like Amiya's got her sword. Sekisho and Eisho. I'm guessing those are the
There's
names
Chen
of the swords.
and the cooler Chen.
Nero
Margaret!
with coffee.
Hey, ICBN. Oh, so that's what they used to fuel the ICBN.
Mm.
Makes sense.
This is what she looks like hanging out at the top of my base.
She would be the type to walk around in full armor like 24/7.
Actually, speaking of Umas, you know how it's the year of the horse?
It is indeed.
I was reading some stuff about the Chinese zodiac, and
Ooh, there's something shiny behind it.
there was a rather interesting story about why the year of the horse is
Ooh,
Cockroach.
that looks like a nice foil treatment. Super rare. Ooh,
shiny. Very nice.
very shiny.
If you tilt it forward a bit, other forward. I actually rather like how the light works with the lettering.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's got like there's like a little checkerboard pattern stamped on it as well.
Very nice.
All right.
Anyway, so did you know the year of the horse is directly preceded by the year of the serpent?
So it is.
Apparently, the story
Not
behind the Chinese zodiac is that the heavenly emperor decided to settle the matter of who would come in which order by having all of the heavenly animals have a race.
Wait, I remember this from Fruits Basket.
Sorry?
I remember this story from Fruits Basket. Go on. I can't remember how it
So
ends.
the serpent beat the horse by coiling itself around the horse's front leg, and thereby technically crossing the finish line first. I just thought that was funny as all.
That's a very serpent thing to do.
Very bureaucratic way of winning.
We're gonna have to check the tapes, and yup. He just like throws his tail over the finish line as the horse raises his legs.
Yep, just strike forward. And the winner by a tongue is the serpent.
The mayor and his wife
more you
riding
know.
in Kirby's drag.
So you don't see Kirby on the Chinese Zodiac. He would have won.
A clear oversight.
That was there was a Kirby episode where they had a race, and the Kirby just, turns into a ball and just starts rolling super fast. And the mayor and his wife in their like super old antique car just being pulled along in his drag.
That was the most glorious anime.
Kirby passes out shortly before the finish line, and the mayor and his wife win.
Basically, all of our Air Riders games.
That was such a charming show. Also, yeah, Millie, I'm not sure if we've told you about the Air Riders duels we've been having, but
I think he's heard in passing.
would it surprise you to find out that there are only 2 characters that I have actually been able to win with?
Do tell.
He's self-reporting.
One's a robot girl and the other is a clown.
It fits too well.
Wait, is it the painter jester character or a different clown?
Yeah, it's the demon. It's the demon dressed up like a jester character.
Wait, the one with roller skates or a different character?
He's the one with the giant shoes.
Does Marks ever get roller skates?
I think he has roller skates.
Ooh,
Maybe he just moves like he has roller skates. We have.
Oh,
Enel.
it's
I
this
recognize
jerk.
this kid.
Oh
Freaking-
yeah, this guy.
He's looking a little younger.
That's
in
what
this
I'm
picture,
thinking.
That's right.
And he was still a colossal jerk back then.
All right, reunion.
What was that guy's problem?
Reunion. No Holken.
What is Holken?
I have my handy dandy Japanese dictionary.
Let me pull up G-Show.
G-Show. Japanese. Learning Japanese. Holken. Feudalistic.
Treasure
wrong
stored.
kanji. Not the right kanji. Not the right
Wrong
kanji.
kanji.
Hole.
Wait,
Or is it
is this-
Bolken?
is this
Hang on.
Houken or
I think it might be Bolken for adventure.
no, wrong kanji.
I'm trying to read the
Picture would
furigana.
maybe think like Reunion Storehouse or something like that.
Sorry,
I don't know.
Bolkun. Sorry, I can't read.
Wait, is this
Bolkun.
tyrant? Despot.
Reunion Tyrant.
Who
Reunion
could that be
tyrant.
referring to?
Well, yeah,
Stage 1-7.
total mystery.
Much better character. Amiya.
Who's this?
That was, incidentally, that was a very cute GIF posted in the Discord earlier with the carrot.
And also
Hey,
Rose
kitty.
Montes. Wearing
Three
the
cheers for
traditional
cats.
Arknight pants.
Don't forget an
Yeah.
oversized jacket.
Oversized jacket. Something that can vaguely be called pants. Or no, I guess she's got a skirt on.
It's
It's
some kind of dress thing.
one piece. Is that the term for where the top and the bottom are the same material?
Yeah, or a leotard maybe. Patriot.
Patriot.
The Patriot.
Oh, patrioto. Let's reading that as ba.
Katakana.
You'll be seeing more of him later.
He
Blizz.
actually really cool guy. I mean,
Is that the same
Arknights
Blaze,
really
like,
is
base from the first set?
really good with the characters.
Yeah, they are still doing that thing where they'll do like stock art over a dark background that I wish was a lighter
For
background.
like the commons, yeah.
I think we said this before. Arknights fundamentally works best as a character drama.
Hmm. Oh, here's an
Um,
Amiya.
Yep. It's when they start
Looking all
philosophizing
cool.
that it gets kind of
Warblaze.
ooh, and very nice. Like
That
I do
the
like the
foil
sheen that
treatments
they
are
have for the
amazing on
shinies.
these. What rarity is this? U star ultra rare, maybe. That is a really nice foil treatment.
Man,
I guess that's
that
the match for the W in this particular pack.
Mm.
we also can't tell because we can't hold them. But how's the actual quality of the cards
Do they have like a nice little texture
physically?
to them?
Oh, they feel
The
like
cardboard.
there's a little bit of like the foil bending that you'll sometimes get. But like the card weight is really good. Actually, these were
Okay,
having
like
these were
fairly
having trouble
solid, not
fitting in
flimsy.
these. Oh yeah, no, like it feels like here, we'll do the light check here in a minute. I'll have to look up what these actual rarities are later, but yeah, the card quality feels good as a set.
Good.
Yeah, they feel solid, good stiffness, not floppy. Holding them up to the light.
The real question
I
is, how do they taste?
Mm,
I have to say, I like it when there's some quality to a tie-in. It's not just a cash grab, you know?
yeah, like these Union Arena's been going for a while, so I will say there's a little bit of like warping on the packs. Uh, like you can see, like when you have a stack of the cards, you can kind of see there's a little bit of a.
Yeah, there's a bit of a warp there.
So that's a little disappointing. But I don't know. Even the Magic Switch manufacturers at one point they were having that issue too. So maybe they just don't make blue core like they used to.
Well, and they're a mobile game branching out into a CCG, so
Yeah, who makes? I mean, Bandai makes Union Arena, so they've been making this game for a good long while. Here, we'll
like I
put,
said,
the good pull.
I like it when there's at least some quality to it
Mm,
because it's like the video game adaptations of movies or the movie adaptations of video games has historically been, you know,
yeah. The well, we're two packs in so far, and it's been winners every pack.
well, that's a definite improvement over my usual Arknights luck.
Earning all of my Originium on these packs.
It'd be
Oh,
nice if they gave you at least a little code or something you
I
could
don't
turn
think-
in for a few extra gold rocks.
I wonder if that. Maybe I should save all these booster pack slips. All right, pack 3. Croissant.
Croissant!
Poisson.
She's got impact, so I think she has trample and blocker.
Well, she's a defender in the base game, so it makes sense.
We have Sasha. Oh, Sasha.
Significantly less of a jerk, but unfortunately, he's also friends with a massive
With a jerk. Oh no.
Boss!
Yes.
You've,
We
you
all
did finish
remember.
that chapter,
I
right?
know what's happened here. No.
Boss! Kill the child!
This was the
That's why
chapter
you're the
where
best.
this was the chapter we turned into a musical number, if you remember.
I think it was.
Rin.
After like multiple beers apiece.
Rin.
I'm pretty sure you've met Lynn, but maybe only like once.
Arena. Have I met Arena yet?
You have not. You'll meet her later.
Alina.
Arena.
You'll get to know her. Don't worry. It's funny because Squirrel and I are just watching, or we're just looking at all this.
Chernobog.
Oh yeah, that's where the horrible thing happened, and that horrible thing, and that horrible thing.
This game
And
just makes me sad.
You're going.
All right, I see shiny purple. Shiny purple.
Da-da-da-dum. Da-da-da-dum.
It's Jen.
Ooh. I rather like that one, actually.
That's a cool looking one.
This might sound weird, but I actually quite like the ponytail.
It looks good.
Like, just the construction of the scene.
I could do a whole design stream on ponytails and use of ponytails in composition.
I do not doubt you in the slightest.
Ponytails, scarves, capes, like when you just need some volume to fill up the white space. The ponytail
knowing
comes in
us,
handy.
Knowing us, it would actually be
Unsheathed,
5 streams on the subjects of ponytails, and only about 30 minutes of actually talking about them.
I'm real curious what the rarity distribution is like in Volume 2, because so far we've pulled 2 super rares and 1 ultra star rare.
Yeah, I wonder how many you're guaranteed. There's what, 20 packs?
16 packs.
Okay, this is 3 out of 16.
Or we just have
like,
really good luck.
So were the packs from a box or something, or was it just...
No, yeah, this is a sealed box.
Individual. Okay.
So there is a fixed rarity distribution for sure, in the sense that, like, typically it's like, hey, you're guaranteed at least this many. So like in Magic, I think you're guaranteed like 2 mythics in a booster box. Like certain rarities will be established as like you will get this many of this rarity per box, this many per pack. Like you'll always have at least 1 rare per pack. 2 mythics per booster box of 36 boosters, and then there's some stuff that's like every case of booster boxes, one of those boxes will contain this level of rarity. And every pallet of this many cases, you'll have, 1 of this rarity. Alright, we have this character.
It's the fart man.
Origin. The what now?
This jerk.
You will... It's the fart man. That's what we'll say.
The fart man. The anti-fart man. Tatehe. Shield soldier?
Yep, that's the shield guard.
Less of a jerk.
A photograph of Chen and somebody?
You'll find out more about that one later.
Alright, mysterious photograph. Rosemontis.
She's got a rather blank expression.
Ooh, Exusia. Looking dapper.
Excellent.
Oh wait, I've seen this art of what?
It's Potato. This one's actually one of her alt skins.
Swire. And for the rare, I see shiny again. Mephisto.
Ooh. Yeah, that's not going to make any sense unless you get there.
Gotcha. It looks like a dragon with a crown thing on his head.
Just don't think about it.
Okay, Mephisto's singing thing. Alright. This will be important later.
Frankly, I don't think you could understand it unless you actually got to that point, but yeah.
It's the part where he sings and then he's like, he's that dragon whose eyeball you saw at the very beginning or something.
Let me put it this way. It will make absolutely no sense until you get there, and only very slightly more sense then.
Oh yeah, so now that you've read Book of the New Sun, do you feel like at least one of the Arknights creators has read that book?
Um, hmm.
We've
Honestly,
gotten a lot of purple.
I'm not seeing it personally.
You know, I know they put these notches in the packs to make them easier to open, but I don't feel like it actually makes them easier to open.
So you gotta use your teeth.
Taste the card.
It could be one of those things where, a copy of a copy, where the original work is so definitive that the stuff that comes after takes inspiration from it, and then the stuff that comes after takes inspiration from those things. Kind of like how, unfortunately, J.R.R. Tolkien defined the genre of fantasy. I say unfortunately not because Lord of the Rings is bad, but just because
people are bad at imitating it.
People are bad at imitating it, and it should not have been definitive. It's just that the entire literary school of fantasy revival died in the Psalm. Which left J.R.R. Tolkien and C.S. Lewis as the only two authors left. They were good, don't get me wrong.
Stop sending our writers to battlefields. Speaking of sending artists to battlefields.
But when you stop doing that, you get George R.R. Martin.
That's true.
Who really could have done with getting sent to Vietnam.
See, Sora's a pop star, and we send her to the battlefield all the time.
Yes, but she's actually halfway likable.
It's Guard.
Oh, this guy.
This guy won the lottery for most generic code name on Rhodes Island.
Goddle. Specifically in English too, with 1.5 spacing.
That is kind of funny.
We have
What's the donkey
no
up to?
Nakade.
I actually can't tell who that's supposed to be.
I think it's... Well, she's wearing blue, so Amiya, maybe?
That is, in fact, Amiya.
She's wearing blue along with the entirety of Rhodes Island.
Oh, it's a purple card. Amiya's cards have been purple so far. Oh,
you can tell by the little bit of lace coming out of her shirt in the front.
Hang on.
And the ponytail.
Retsu in no Nakade. Inside something. Retsu. Retsu brings up nothing. That N symbol looks like fire. Inflammation. Fire.
I think I know what this is. I'm not sure if I should say it, though.
Okay. But she's inside a fire.
What's the hiragana above the kanji?
Retsu and N. When I typed in it as one word of Retsu-en, it didn't bring up anything. So I'm looking them up individually.
Retsu.
Retsu with
ardent, violence. Vehement,
okay.
furious,
Inside the big fire.
Extreme.
Inside the extreme fire.
That translates roughly as wrathful cerulean flame.
Ah.
Retsu, yeah, that thing.
That thing.
Jen.
Within the wrathful flames.
This outfit didn't need a tie, but I like it.
Ties are cool.
There's a lot of neckties in this game when you think about it.
Neckties are cool.
Kissing.
Yeah. Yes, I have an extremely dated fashion sense. Yes, I think shoulder pads and elbow pads are cool. What about it?
I think suspenders are cool and incredibly comfy.
I didn't realize there was another person on the planet who felt the same way as me.
This is why we're friends.
True.
We have Mostema.
Mostima.
I don't know if I've met him yet. I've seen the meme of him being force-fed cake by the giant Texan Exusia, but...
That's a girl.
Her, actually.
Oh, okay. You see, this is why I have to ask these questions. It's just coincidental that they always happen to be Martel's favorite characters.
Her base art is a little hard to tell sometimes just because of the pose.
I'm not even... like, Mostima isn't even in my top 15.
No, but I mean... Look, it's hard to tell sometimes.
I-
Or maybe
Okay,
it's not.
You thought
Maybe it's
Exusia
not.
was a trap. You thought Lapland was a trap. Like, the only one of my top
Did he?
favorites you didn't think was a trap was Dagonbreaker.
Or maybe it's not Mostema in that meme, because the one in the meme is definitely a dude.
No, it's no. They're the cake one is Mostema, and
Oh.
Mostema is most definitely female.
Speaking of giant eyeballs, it's that one cutscene that after you pass it the first time you launch the game on your account, you can never see it again.
They do really need to have a.
Almost like
Dragon
they're
is
plotting
looking
something.
at you, the player. All right, shiny foil time.
Dun 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 dun.
Jen.
Motorcycle cop Jen.
Actually, biker chin, yeah.
Hey,
Ooh,
it has been
shoes.
pointed out quite frequently. Biker leathers do a very nice job.
So the funny part is, at no point has this ever been an actual skin in the game. It's purely a story beat moment.
yes,
they just-
but her motorcycle cop skin is still very nice.
So they're not only are there bosses that you can't recruit yet, there are also skins that aren't skins yet.
Yeah, like Blaze's swimsuit, Hypergriff.
Oh, don't worry, it'll come
Just
in
saying.
Enfield, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, that's coming out soon, right?
Next week.
Next Thursday.
Oh,
Don't worry, we'll get to that. We'll get to that one later.
hang on, hang on. I'll check this later. Dome Keeper multiplayer should be out.
You know what date?
Really? Seriously? Everything
I can
good is
play
coming
both.
out in the next 4 weeks. Yes, but Menace is coming out on February 4th.
Menace?
Well, I hope that you can play Dome Keeper with your feet while you play the other game with your hands.
You ever heard of Battle Brothers?
Yeah, I think so. It's like that Contra sort of game.
Not even close.
No, okay, then no, I have not.
Turn-based
Chen.
RPG, low fantasy. Unfortunately, it came out during the whole let's turn everything into Game of Thrones phase.
Kirushi.
But
Ah, Cal.
the game is actually very good, and the guys who made it decided to make a
Ultra
sci-fi
skin.
game. Yep.
Das Vidania, y'all.
Patriot.
Patriotto. Yeah.
I
Anyway,
like
the
this
guys who made Battle Brothers decided to make a sci-fi game, which is kind of the spiritual XCOM 3 we never got. And they also hired the guy who made Astartes to make their trailer. So if nothing else, they've got good taste there.
Erijuma?
Elysium. Elysium.
Erigium. Erigium. And Koske?
Koshi.
Koshi.
You'll see
Or
him.
Cache.
later.
Koshke. Yeah, I guess that is Koshi. K would be
Just
different.
what vibe do you get from this particular individual? Just you know.
I mean, I think we gave it away when we translated the name for him.
I don't think he knows what that means.
I assure you, he definitely knows who Koshi is.
I'm probably just mispronouncing it. I thought it was pronounced Kosuke. Like the Deathless.
No, Koshi.
I don't trust him. He looks evil.
You'll find out later. Don't worry about it.
Frost Nova.
Everyone's favorite operator.
And Tallulah. But Toshi Tallulah, Knight Tallulah.
Yeah, that's not going to make any sense either.
You'll understand when you get there.
Toshi. It's Toshi.
What's the hiragana?
Something plus the hiragana for knight. So it's, I think, fighter, militant, champion. Champion Tallulah. So Menace is a sci-fi game from the Battle Brothers is a low fantasy game. Menace is a sci-fi game from the same people.
Yes. And given how many hours I sank into Battle Brothers, and given how good Menace looks,
And
and
the fighter. Okay, thank you, Ken.
And Menace, I think I mentioned Menace hired the guy who made Astartes to make their trailer.
I'll have to look that up later.
Yep.
I do like that they've gone with a like every rare is a foil thing that makes collecting the cards fun. All right, we got
it is a
Logistics.
collectible card game.
This guy,
The Jerk.
oh, another version.
Significantly
of
less
the
the Jerk.
She almost looks happy in that picture.
Can you recruit Tallulah yet?
No.
We plead the fifth.
Okay.
On
No, that's
account
not
of
a spoiler.
spoilers.
She's not a
Hoshiguma,
recruitable character.
another Tallulah.
Now that artwork is one of my favorite ones. Actually, it's a. They do this sometimes with
Can you
releases
hold
on
it?
Twitter. There's
Can you hold it lower
wallpapers.
down again?
Oh yeah.
So I have this one as a wallpaper.
Ooh.
It's
very nice
very
looking.
nice artwork.
You got Patriot in the background there.
Like Reunion overall, I like their overall aesthetic.
Oh. And aesthetics aside, the Arknights artists are rather good at composition. I've noticed with the set pieces, not just character design. But
We have another Tallulah the fighter.
It's almost like she's a really important character, and
I get the feeling
part of the
we're going
story
to be
arc.
seeing a lot more of Tallulah soon. Chen.
Yeah, because she's kind of absent for a couple chapters after you get at like chapter 0 and 1.
All right. And
yeah,
foil.
almost like Chen and Tallulah are important characters.
Amiya.
And
Donkey power.
Just Amiya.
With a sword, it would appear. Or some kind of
Spoilers.
weapon.
And power up. I mean, it's not. It's more like it's just going to make sense to get there. But we all knew that Donkey had weird freak powers. I think we established that.
Yeah.
I can hear someone crying.
Your thoughts. I could hear them.
I know.
Yeah, really selling us on that wholesome image on me. I didn't realize that until I listened to her English voice lines. You know?
Yeah.
I had no idea what she was saying because I never bothered to like check that on the character profile.
Yeah.
I've been failing in my duties as an ASM artist to hold the packs close to the microphone as I open them.
Make sure you breathe on the microphone a little bit too.
Oh man, my very first stream, I did not have like the noise gate set up right, so you just hear like every like breathing. It's terrible.
And don't worry,
I'm
chat.
sitting there
This will
thinking,
not
going like,
end with feet.
it started with feet. We're good. Get that out of the way early.
That's a nice crunchy sound.
Oh no. Why?
We're the good guys.
We're never going to stop reminding you about that.
This is like if there was there is Full Metal Alchemist Union Arena now. Oh no.
Oh no.
Hey, at least nobody gets turned into a dog.
They're all animal people to begin with. This is the good timeline where his research succeeded. Ooh. That's some cool art. Waru
Worf.
Wadin. Waru Fadin.
Warfarin.
That's where that name's been. I've had that name stuck in my head, and I'm like, is this like a drug I saw an ad for?
So she's a Rhodes Island medical staff.
She's a drug I'm hooked.
Oh, okay.
She's
So
also a
that's why it
vampire.
sounds like a medicine name. Ooh.
Yep.
Ooh. This looks plot significant.
She's
is
powering up.
That's
something
cool looking.
Manu.
Shizu Manu Akuen. Something evil fire.
Wait, hang on.
Evil ruby
What's
flames or
the-
something.
What's the
Shizuma
first hiragana?
Shizu. With the kanji being, I think, it's got the little hat. Shizuma. Those aren't the right kanji.
Shizu.
Shizu with the little. Shizu normally means quiet. With the little. This one's got the little hat on the left, the little feet on the right. Little knight symbol in there. Shizu.
That looks like.
What do you think the ability is called in English? Because it's doing the same.
forget.
It's got Akuen, so it's like something evil flame.
Let me see if I can find a hint, because I'm kind of curious now.
Alright, we'll set that one aside for now. Rosmontis.
Very cute.
And, another art of Amiya.
We're getting a lot of donkey here.
I'm starting to think she might be important to the story or something.
We've seen a lot of Amiya and a lot of Tallulah.
I'm starting to think they might be important to the story or something.
Maybe they're trying to do some kind of juxtaposition thing here. I don't know. I don't know, man. I can't tell.
Are you saying there's dichotomy in my meta-narrative?
I am saying exactly that. You
No.
read my mind.
Wait, go back to the.
Yeah, here, let me put... There you go. Is that close enough to read the kanji? There you go. Shizumamu Akuen.
Aku. Is that Aku N?
Yeah, like Akuen, like evil fire.
Interesting. Not able to find anything.
Fires of Epic Cosmic Destiny or something.
Deathless Inferno, perhaps?
Oh, maybe. Good morning, Zachary Rolex 6169. We've got Arknights Volume 2. We're opening up. Alright. Significant photo. Croissant. Sasha. Rosemontis. Ooh, Patriots. Exusia.
Or Exu.
Frost Nova. And for the shiny card. Ooh.
Oh, that's a cool one.
Patrioto.
Shiny
I
Patriot.
do like that bit of art.
That's really good.
Like I said, they
know their composition well. I just love like giant claws reaching toward the audience.
Do you remember that one of our many discussions a few years ago where we got started by this one comic, which was, I think, Roman legionnaires fighting orcs or something? And we noted that despite it being an action shot, there really wasn't any sense of motion to the scene.
I don't remember this, but
This
I
sounds
can
vaguely
imagine.
familiar.
I don't think you were there for that one, but yeah, it was an action shot for a comic, but there just wasn't really any motion to it. And then we compared it to this one of Mordred stabbing Arthur, and there was a definite feel of weight and motion to it.
Was that the that classic, like, who does that one? Is it like the old woodblock print one you see?
It was the one with a spear.
Yeah.
Well, they were both on foot.
You feel that one.
Yeah. Honestly, a lot of the Arknights trading card stuff, there's a definite feel of motion to it. Actually, that's to loop it to AI for a bit. That's one of the tells that AI artwork has, I've noticed. They don't have much in the way of motion. It's usually a static shot.
Mm. Yeah, imagine motion, because like if you're creating art by just copying a lot of other art you've seen, but you don't understand how the artist created the sense of motion, then it's like when you like try to do a real detailed like tracing or copy of a reference, but you're like too stiff-armed with it, and so then like you look at the finished product and you're like, this looks nothing like the reference material. Whereas if you're more like free-flowing with your pencil, even if you're not as technically accurate, you'll capture the sense of the thing more.
Precisely. And in the case of AI, it's because motion requires a concept of before and after, but AI has no awareness, and therefore no concept of past or future or one thing leading into another. There's only whatever it is at the moment of creation.
But anyway,
I don't think we've seen this Amia art yet.
But
So
yeah,
interesting.
but even this.
I don't know if this is story relevant or not, but I noticed that some Tallulahs are purple, which is the same color they put Amia in, and some Tallulahs are yellow, which is the reunion color.
I'm going to chalk that up to card game mechanics somehow, but I don't really know for sure.
Yeah, I think that's more of a rarity thing.
Color pie thing.
Although I'm not sure. Yeah. But it's like the so-called AI hallucination.
This guy. All right, what
Some
do we got for
people
the
are saying
rare?
that AI, the freaking Mephisto.
More Chen.
She may also be important.
Yeah.
Almost like there's something in the meta narrative.
Overarching, yeah. But yeah, technically speaking, AI cannot lie because it has no concept of truth, because it has no awareness. It's a word generator, really.
Funny, I mostly use it as like a search engine, and I'm like, it's sad we've come to this because search engines used to be, well, not this good, but like search engines used to be good.
Yeah, that's how I use it too. Like, I remember you used to be able to look up specific forum posts if you knew 2 or 3 keywords to enter.
Can you still use Boolean logic with Google search?
Nope. No, they've
you
destroyed
could
it.
narrow it down significantly where you're like, okay, this thing keeps popping up because it's very similar. I need it to specifically exclude that.
You can still exclude domains, but it just requires a lot more legwork.
Yep.
Well, I noticed something in this Tallulah the Fighter artwork is the little number on the wall. 08142.
That does not ring a bell, but maybe...
I actually have no idea if that's significant.
Sora.
How far in are you with the Pasta Wolf storyline?
I think everyone is at the party and things are about to go down.
Okay.
And I'm still convinced that the old man that's giving Sora acting advice for her character's role is like the ghost of Salvador, Texas.
I can't remember. Is Salvador the grandfather or the father of Texas?
He's the founder, so probably the grandfather.
He's the grandfather. The
grandfather.
The middle son is Giuseppe.
Yep.
And then, and Giovanna. I finally saw Giovanna. So you guys can't haunt me with that anymore.
Darn. We were going to keep that up forever.
Well, the real Giovanna, please stand up.
I have to say, I like how they've done things with the manga tie-ins.
Ooh.
Oh, hell yes. Hell yes. I haven't seen this one. Oh, that's cool.
Squirrel's neurons have activated.
Oh, that is badass.
It is really good.
I'm going to look that card up. Internet, to the internet.
Squirrel's neurons have paralyzed his tongue.
Can he still type? Ooh, the foil treatment looks really good on this, too.
Shut up. I just messed it up.
Because it's like sparkly in the background and glossy on the Texas art.
Can you move it down slightly, flatten it, and then move it side to side?
Down slightly, flatten it, side to side. There we like go. That.
No, like rotate side to side, pitch and yaw. Okay.
Roll.
Yeah.
Pitch, yaw.
Because there's a bit of glare with the original angle, but this way it's showing off the actual. That is a very good job with the foil.
The Japanese, I swear, like Wizards is copying the Japanese now because the Japanese are like streets ahead in terms of like foil treatments and like doing cool stuff with their cards that Wizards is finally catching up to. Here's the collector number if you need it, Squirrel. It's EX11 Bravo Tango / ARC-2-066.
Cool.
So, speaking of AI,
I already found one on eBay. It's $120.
You are so predictable.
I'm not buying it. Shut up. It's the signed version, just for the record.
Okay.
By your leave, may I go on a brief little philosophical rant?
Please do. Brief philosophical rants are what this channel is all about.
Yes.
So
I think I mentioned before, you know the term ontological evil?
Yes.
It got started with how I sleep, knowing that my enemies are ontological.
Oh,
There's nothing I can
yeah,
do to them that's
don't
immoral.
crush your foot with the door, son. Okay.
So,
Yeah. Sorry, you go on your rant. I'll be listening. I'm just muting my mic.
I really don't care about the dehumanization part of it. That's just standard rhetoric. We've been doing it since Cain bashed his brother's head in with a rock, and we'll keep doing it until the death of the son. What I care about is just the use of the term ontological evil. Because, as I'm sure you all know, ontology is the philosophy of being. It's an examination of the very nature of reality. Which means it is not actually concerned with the question of ethics. Which is to say, ontology does not ask the question of whether it doesn't precisely ask what is or is not evil, or even whether a thing is evil, but rather, is evil a substance or merely a negation of the good? Which is to say, is evil an entity in and of itself? So, to say that something is ontologically evil is to say that it possesses evil as a positive and separate substance rather than a mere negation of the good. What I object to is that a much, much better term to use is inherent or innate. And someone just decided to use ontologically because it sounds much fancier than inherent. And then a bunch of people started copying it.
Big word syndrome.
Pretty much, yeah. That's the rant, really.
I'm back.
You missed the entire rant.
Okay, so I can
No,
get the
I heard
non-foil variant.
I heard
$5.
Okay.
I heard the rant.
Yes. Now, the question of whether or not evil is, in fact, a separate substance is actually a rather fascinating one, and one that's been argued with, much rivers of ink and the occasional bit of blood from both sides. See, fascinatingly, the Manichaeans, or the Zoroastrians, believe
just
that
thinking of
evil
that.
is a separate substance.
I was just thinking of the Manichaeans. How did you know?
I was about to say, because they have Ahriman and Ahura Mazda as basically equal but opposed entities. In
Yes,
contrast
and you
with
see this,
Lucifer as a fallen angel.
right. Whereas Augustine, for instance, argued that evil is not an inherent substance, but rather comes as a negation or a warping of the good.
Right. Cold doesn't exist.
Right. Or ill health is not a separate state in and of itself, but rather a nullification of good health. It's a warping of what should be.
There's no
There is
anti-sun
no
casting darkness on the earth at night.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the best metaphor. Shadow is the absence of light, not something in and of itself. Cold is the absence of heat.
Ooh, Koshi.
Rosemontis.
You can tell by the dull stare.
Ooh.
W.
Actually, do they have furigana for this? Yeah. W. Which,
And
speaking of card games, Duel Masters has a mechanic called Double Breaker. In the Japanese version, they literally just write the letter W and then Budeka in katakana.
I feel like they haven't
I
quite
like that.
figured that out, but okay.
No, it's lead speak. It's lead speak, literally.
Because there was also a card that's name was a mixture of Japanese and then the English word Crymax, like Crymax. And I'm like, is this supposed to be like the final form of something? Are they trying to write climax?
Wait, was W ever lead speak for double?
It was sometimes used for that.
Wait, are we sure this isn't just two V's and she's supposed to be laughing?
Well, she's definitely not Vivi.
Wait, isn't isn't the actual letter W the Japanese way to indicate laughing?
You could do it with W's or V's. The point is that it looks like grass.
Hence Kuso.
Kusa.
Oh, is that the etymology?
Yeah.
Yep.
Kusa.
Oh.
Yeah, so like I could type it out like
Thought I
that
mentioned that we actually used to have
or like
W.
that. Or like I feel like this would be the most elite way to do it would be like that.
See, the last one you typed just makes me think of a crowd at a concert
Oh,
holding their
okay.
hands up.
Spoiled the rare by accident, but super rare Kelsey.
I didn't see it. Can you show? Oh, there she is.
Oh, I'd rather like that one, actually.
That's some good art.
You know,
That's
she's
it.
one of those characters that, as time has gone on, has continued to rise up my favorites list.
Foil treatment remains excellent.
Well, she eventually starts to learn the most important skill of all.
Shutting up.
Yes, the ability to keep her mouth shut.
She's actually quite charming when you get to know her.
When she stops talking, you mean?
No, she can still talk. It's just, let me
Yes.
put it this way. The facade that you'll kind of see she puts forward for the early stuff, there's a little more depth to it. She's not just a jerk. But you probably already knew that.
Yes.
Hey, what did your research on the Texas yield? You said the signature version is like $100-something.
150 to 120. I can get the normal foil for $5.
Nice.
But I don't know about the shipping. But I'm gonna see if I can find it somewhere that's not this Japanese website that I can't read. TCG Republic. Actually, maybe I can buy from that.
I have to say, AI translation has actually been
That's been very solid.
Oh, but the full one looks so much cooler.
Hey, maybe I'll
It
open
doesn't have
one.
it doesn't have the red border.
I will admit to being pleasantly surprised by just the AI translation stuff.
I will not stand for this Kelsey slander.
Who's bad mouthing
She
Kelsey?
she does talk about the important things and the other things too.
I will admit she has an unfortunately high signal to noise ratio, but there is some signal in there.
Being careful these times. Sadness once more. Why game? Rena Tallulah Moshtima.
Who is not a trap. I don't even like her that much and still tried.
I know, I did the reverse this time. Alright, rare card, purple border. Alina, rare version.
Her again.
Oh yeah, what kind of creature is she? She's like a deer?
She is a deer.
Yes. Yep, deer creature. Does that still fall under Cabernet? I can't remember.
It's like Elfalia or something like that. I don't remember.
Right.
Alifa?
I don't actually have any.
They use a lot
deer
of really
operating I can
wacky
think of.
words.
If you know Latin, you can generally get it.
Lopo.
Oh, yeah.
Feline.
Draco. Admittedly, Reproba threw me for a loop.
Yeah, I guess it's hyenas.
The hyenas, yeah. Turns out Crown Slayer is a hyena girl.
Huh.
She
Yeah.
got them big floopy ears.
Is that why she goes around killing clowns? Only she's allowed to laugh.
Also, Beanstalk is a hyena girl, which is. Oh, also, I found out what Quora is.
She's supposed to be a turtle.
Turtle. Like, literally the only turtle person in the game, as far as I know. Yeah. Which is interesting.
What kind of turtle?
Turtle?
The one with the shell.
They tend to go
gotcha.
for genuses rather than
Oh,
species.
I was gonna say like alligator snapping turtle is my favorite turtle. Possibly one of my top 5 animals. It's neat.
As a rule, I don't like anything that can bite my finger off if I put it too close.
But they're so cool looking.
I like my
Unfortunately,
fingers.
that's like most animals.
And it's neat because when I've seen them in US aquariums and Japanese aquariums, and they grow different types of moss on their back by region.
That is cool. Well, no, I mean, yes, most animals can bite your finger off if you give them enough time, but
That one's pretty
turtles will just
instantaneous.
snip the thing clean off. That's what I don't like. Oh, speaking of things that usually bite but are quite cute, nurse sharks.
Mm.
They're basically sea puppies, but they don't attack humans and they like getting petted.
Ooh. Amiya with one eye. Oh, it's homophobic Amiya.
I don't
You're
know
gonna
that
have to
joke.
explain that one to me.
Oh, that's the meme of like characters with heterochromia. They'll be like, "Oh, it's a cute bunny girl
Oh,
with
is it?
homophobia."
You know, there's this
Oh,
famous picture of her, not famous, I shouldn't say, but there's this old concept art of Amiya with an eye patch that has never actually been used in the game, and I'm still wondering what they're planning with it, because there's a few things that have been
Wait,
floating
does
around.
this part of the story predate Rawobi? Did they
No.
just steal the silver eye thing from Arknights?
No, I think that's also just the light, you know.
Oh, or her eye's not actually supposed to be mismatched colors here?
No, there's just half her face is in shadow.
Okay.
actually, speaking of,
There are some characters that have heterochromia, but Amiya's not one of them.
All right, we have 2 packs left.
speaking of eyes and different things, I found a rather fascinating
Which one should we open second to last?
photo the other day.
Okay, the Amiya on the right looks more evil.
Open this one first.
Yeah.
All right.
In the old prequel memes corner of the internet.
You gotta give us that nice package opening crinkle.
Enjoy the crinkle. I enjoy hearing the mechanical keyboard sounds in the background.
Sorry.
No, do not apologize. I enjoy hearing the mechanical keyboard sounds in the background.
We have penguins. We have angry children.
We have Hoshiguma.
Who is neither a penguin nor a child, though she's also not
She's not even
angry.
really that angry. She's pretty chill.
We have a
I
child.
don't think we've actually seen her get angry once so far.
We have someone who's angry.
Debbie's pretty angry.
No, she's too happy to be angry.
And for the foil.
It's like my
Ooh.
take on Lapland.
Donkey.
She's not yandere, but murder is happening and she's happy to be a part of it. Ooh. I like the
There's a second
ponytail.
copy of that.
I think it is.
I still like the ponytail.
Wait, let's see. How many? We've pulled several Amiyas today. Oh no, two different foil Amiyas. Or, sorry, three. Oh wow,
Three.
she's represented across. I guess two colors so far.
Huh, almost like she's a flagship character or something.
This is one interesting thing that comes with using a color wheel rather than like elemental typing is like you can duplicate characters like that and have mechanically unique things for them to do.
I like that from a game design perspective.
Oh, and this is, wait, are these? No, okay, yeah, these are two mechanically distinct ones too. All right, final pack. What will
Drum
it
roll,
be?
please.
All right, we have Reunion Tyrants, Gas
The
Man,
Fart Man.
the Shield Man, the Rosemontis Man, Lady. Ooh, cool Tallulah. Rosemontis, Chen,
Nelly,
and
if you could.
Shen.
Oh,
Oh.
that's a.
Ooh, more chat.
I was going to say if you could center the cards a bit lower down.
The fancy
Some
dress
of the-
Chen.
That is an in-game skin. Rather nice
It's
one.
cool looking.
Yep.
I like the dragon. Ooh, and the moon. Or the window?
I believe that's a window. One of the Chinese circular window ones. That's the New Year outfit, if I remember correctly.
Chen holding on to Neril's leg as she drags her across the finish line.
Well, technically, dragons have their own gear, don't they?
Do they?
Yeah, I guess they
Yes,
are
you're the
separate
dragon,
from
yeah.
the snake.
Oh, yeah. So then serpents would be more like rose salt. She would do
So,
that, actually.
I'm gonna
She would
say
absolutely do that.
the Asfan for this set is particularly high in purple. So we have here's all the rares we pulled. Right. Here's all the purple rares. And here are all the purple cards compared to all the other colors that we pulled.
Is purple like the normal type?
I don't
I guess.
think so. I'm pretty sure, I don't think Union Arena has colorless. Even if it did, it would be.
If there's a default type, would it be purple?
Yeah, that's what I mean by colorless. Let me see.
Because you said purple isn't an element.
No, I meant color versus element. Like, right, when your game is element based, like Pikachu can only ever really be printed as an electric type Pokemon, right? I mean, they'll do regional variants, but like the character Pikachu is associated with electricity. So like, there's only really one way to do it. Whereas when instead of it being an explicit element, it's like a color representing like a concept or philosophy, then you can print the same character in different card colors because it represents different aspects of that character.
Right.
So for example, in the Final Fantasy set, I got that green Tifa card. There's another Tifa card that I think is like red, white, green.
I guess what I mean is that not knowing a ton about the actual gameplay of the Arknights CCG.
Let's see. Community contributed color pie in Union Arena. Alright. Red, blue, green. Wait, red, blue.
Kent 1686 says the Chen New Year skin is the first Chinese New Year skin of the game.
Oh. That's
and they
cool.
release Chinese clothing skins
Yeah,
every
it's an old
Chinese
one.
New Year.
Purple.
Still quite nice.
Okay, so purple is a color in and of itself. It is not colorless. Also, apparently, Union Arena also has green, but I guess Arknights does not use green.
Interesting.
That you have a 5-color game, but you choose to only use 4 colors for. Although, as far as I know, with Union Arena, you can't mix IPs, so like, you're basically locked into your theme anyway.
Maybe you just had your luck run a certain way. Maybe there's reason for it. Again, I don't know.
Oh no, I do not believe they would collate it so badly that you wouldn't pull a single green card if green was a color that existed in the game.
No, I mean with the predominance of purples in this
Oh.
poll.
Yeah, that's so that there's a term called as fan, as in as you fan the cards of a booster pack out. And something I don't know how many other One thing I will say for Wizards is they do a lot of research into why their games sell, and then they just choose to ignore some of it, I guess. But one of the concepts they think of when they're designing is called as fan, which is like, if the theme of my set is pirates, for example, then I need to make sure that as I'm building the set, that if a person picks up a single booster pack of my game and opens it, as they fan it out, they will see enough pirates in that lone booster pack of random cards to understand, like, oh, this is the pirate set.
Right. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Yeah, so if they had green cards on this expansion, I refuse to believe their
Okay, I just looked.
design
There
and
are no
collation
greens.
would be so bad that you wouldn't have any green in the as fan. With the as fan tells me for the set they were going was clearly purple. Purple is the theme of this set. And Amiya, Chen, and Tallulah are the major players.
Who could have ever guessed, aside from anyone who's played episodes 6, 7, and 8?
Yep, so this is a good as fan. Is that someone who has not played those episodes? I can tell you we got 1, 2, 3 rare Amiyas in rare, and super rare. Here, I'll do this so that everyone at home can see. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4 different Amiyas out of 16 packs, so 25% of our rares were Amiyas. One, 2, 3.
I guess she's kind of our year of the horse stand-in.
4 Chens. So another 25% of the rares were Chens. And then we got a smattering of the rest between Arena, Tallulah, W, Patriot, Kelsey, Texas, and, as is tradition, the U-Star Rarity Blaze, which I want to look up. I find it very funny that this was the first character we ever reviewed, and she always shows up in the best rarities for me.
I think it's just destiny.
EX1 BT. R.
$8, $8.50.
2020. U-Star Blaze. $10 on eBay. And I'm curious, what about the what is this blaze? UA30 BT Arc 1059 Blaze. Signed Union Arena Arknights, Secret Rare Blaze JP. Someone is asking for $269 for it.
Wow.
What have they actually sold for? This is a neat feature on eBay. You can look at sold items in your search. Looks like no one has actually sold one on eBay yet. So they're asking, but no one is going like, yeah, that seems fair. I wonder if there's enough room for both of the cards in here. Probably not.
Fancy.
Right. I like the I like this layout here too, with the like. This is a good use of the static character art, where you go like static character, emblem, name. That's a cool look.
Like you see this on like Rhodes Island recruitment posters, you know.
Yeah, join Rhodes Island. See the big cat girl.
In fairness, we have cat girls is a very enticing recruitment slogan.
It's like it's not such a big thing in Terra though.
I don't know, maybe if you like British women.
No, you say our cat girls have chainsaws.
I like the Texas art.
That is actually new to this card game.
Oh, really? Never
Yeah.
before seen Texas art?
Well, I haven't
Well,
seen it.
if any Texas art exists, he's seen
This
it.
is true. We're talking to the expert. We
The
pride
texter, as it were.
ourselves on bringing real subject matter experts onto these streams.
If a Texas art piece cannot be found in our archives, then it simply doesn't exist.
Perhaps the archives are incomplete. Well, it is true. I don't browse Pixiv. Perhaps I should.
Is that where that's where a lot of these artists started, right? Or was it DeviantArt?
I think Pixiv, because that's more popular in Asia.
Does DeviantArt still exist?
It does.
Oh.
That was always more popular in North America, Europe.
Oh, this is the booster pack art. Right into the Hallelujah box. So yeah, we got that much red. Sorry, Berg. That much red. That much blue. Alright, so here's red, blue, and yellow together. Oh, neat. It goes all the way to the border. So you can see the difference as they're stacked up. And the same amount of cards in one color, purple.
Fascinating.
I'm curious now if there was a, like if after the first set came out, whether there was like a, hey, purple didn't get enough support in this set, what gives?
Well, you're not limited to like one color in decks, are you?
I think you might be. So it could be a serious issue if, actually here, let's check.
I would have to guess because the sets aren't that big. You're probably not. I don't know.
Let's see what the purple was like. And keep in mind we got some starter deck stuff in here. I think this might still be my favorite Chen card.
Really, nothing so far I've seen that I can fault them for the art on.
Yeah, my only complaint is like the dark backgrounds because they're already using dark card frames. Alright, so last time, keep in mind this is booster plus starter, so it's going to be a little skewed, but we had a bunch of blue. It's probably from the starter deck. Oh, okay, this explains it.
Mm-hmm.
Previously on Arknights,
Was it all yellow?
purple didn't even exist.
Oh,
That would explain things, actually. Yes.
They're like, we're introducing a whole new color of deck in this expansion. That'll do it.
That from a game design perspective, that actually makes sense. Like, you release the new thing, so you release a lot of the new thing to balance it out.
Yeah, at least half of your booster pack will be, or half of your booster box will be the new color. All right. Okay, so maybe Volume 3 will be green heavy. I guess that's one way to do it too, if you know you're doing smaller sets, is like instead of letting there be like 4 factions with not really enough support for what they want to do, we'll just slow roll all the colors out so that everybody gets the support they need for their decks.
It's like the opposite of Blizzard balancing.
Yeah, can't. As far as I can tell, you can't mix IPs in Union Arena, unfortunately, which to me is like not like what's the point of the game, because you can still build your favorite deck for your favorite theme, but I don't know. Maybe that's what the audience for the game wants, though. Is like I want to be able to build my deck around my theme, and not have to feel like to build the most competitive deck, I have to play like all of these other IPs I don't care about.
There's also I'm going to call it the Fortnite effect. And I've noticed this happening with some of the Magic stuff where
Oh yeah.
the collab is the point. And so it just becomes about what the next thing we're putting in is.
Everything becomes Super Smash Brothers.
Yep.
Yeah, because the current top standard deck, I think, is now Grand from Avatar: The Last Airbender based.
Grand?
Magic
Really?
the Gathering?
Yes, really.
Okay, so
Fortnite is in full effect. We got
quote era
Avatar,
demonstrandum.
we got Spider-Man, we got Assassin's Creed.
In Magic
There are
the
literally,
Gathering.
there are
Magic the
literally
Gathering.
Furbies.
It's terrible. You know, I never
I
liked the
feel that I can
idea.
let the point rest.
I never liked the idea, but at least, Final Fantasy. Okay, that makes sense. Lord of the Rings, they did a horrible job with it, but again, makes sense. Warhammer 40,000, yeah, that kind of fits the vibe, but Spider-Man, Avatar,
Furbies.
Star Trek.
I want to see the Labubu Magic cards.
I don't.
You don't want to see the.
That's a joke.
No,
Sarcasm.
don't say it. They're listening. They're listening to see if I'm one of those streamers that tells people not to buy their products, because apparently that's something they do now.
And they what? They
Like,
embargo you or something?
I don't know. One of their surveys for the players was like, hey, if you didn't buy a lot of this recent set, were there any streamers that influenced you in your decision?
That's bold.
What was that one Oh, yeah, Helldivers. Right. Thinking that one video game that banned a bunch of its creators because they were critical of a recent move. Of course it was Helldivers.
Thanks, Arrowhead.
Freaking Arrowhead. Although, speaking of market research, I learned, I heard a funny little anecdote the other day. So you know how Texas Instruments came out with the first calculator in 1970 or 80 something?
Yeah.
Well, so have you ever noticed how the number pad on a calculator is the opposite of the number pad on a phone?
Oh yeah. Hang on. Where's my? Let me open up the calculator in my phone.
Okay. Yes. Well, I don't know if they've changed it since, but
no,
then,
yeah, 789456123.
Yep. So, well, Texas Instruments received a rather frantic call from Ma Bell, who had recently released their first keypad telephone, after having done extensive market research to determine the optimal placement of the numbers on the keypad. And they were worried that Texas Instruments had turned up something they had missed, so they asked what their market research had revealed. And Texas Instruments replied in a somewhat puzzled manner. What market research?
You just put the numbers in the order. I have to say, and I had never noted, never consciously thought about that before. Thank you for inflicting this knowledge on me.
Well,
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm old enough to remember punching numbers in on a physical phone pad. I mean, shoot, I still do it because we have desk phones at work, but
I suppose there are people who have never experienced that.
Are they really people, though?
This is like
it's
when
a
they
matter under
changed
some philosophical discussion.
This is like when they changed the abacus on me.
just when I had mastered rotary dialing.
And rotary texting. Remember rotary texting? You never misspelled words.
Remember we sent texts via the mail?
I had a moment of horror the other day as I was walking around and realized I was actually capable of texting out a complete message on my touchscreen phone without looking at the keypad.
Ooh, I'm afraid it's terminal.
We diagnose you with Terminal 7.
Hmm.
Well, better than Terminal Lance.
Could be worse. This is the other thing I found in my journeys up north. Was an Ultraman card game, and they just so happened to make a deck featuring two of my favorites. This one being Tiga, that was the one they showed on Channel 19 as a kid.
Oh, he's Elbow Man.
Yeah. And then Blazer, more recently, is the one I started watching with my family that came out like 2 years ago because Subaru made their big push for an international audience, which is good in some ways, and I hope they're moderately successful, but not so much that it goes mainstream.
That is always the... I am actually a little bit worried about Arknights with Enfield coming out.
So this appears to have been a pre-constructed theme deck that also came with sleeves, which is neat. I'm not going to sleeve them all up on stream, but I wanted to see what the cards were like for this game. These are the sleeves. Which, including sleeves, is a nice touch. This appears to be our character deck, perchance. How do I open it? Do I slide it? Slide it. Which, ooh, okay, so they've done an embossed treatment on the back, which looks cool.
Nice.
So this is something other games have done. It's probably for the best Magic didn't do it, because if they ever did it wrong, it would, like, make those cards unusable. But this has been a thing since 1994. Because Wyvern, the second game to come out after Magic, also did... It's a lot more subtle, but, like, you can see the gold leaf is, like, shiny compared to the rest of the card.
Also very nice.
Also great card backing. The Japanese seem fond of it though, because there was another game that I don't think this one went anywhere. Just pulling out of my archives here. This was another one that did a very fancy, like, shiny embossment treatment. Right now, I'm basically a librarian with no library right now. I have little bits and pieces from card game history, but they mostly just sit in my box. But I'm like, someday I'll have some library or other where they can be appreciated by family and friends.
Maybe
so
we
children
need to
will
build
have to earn their first card by defeating you in a children's card game.
Indeed.
Maybe we need to build a library of Alexandria, but for every
games.
single CCG card, at least one original copy of every card ever made.
Put me in, coach. Oh, so they're going for frameless with this one.
I'm not going to pay for the Black Lotus.
Is that a super rare one or something?
That is the... I don't know if the serialized One Ring beat it for most expensive card in the game now, but the Black Lotus was the most powerful card ever printed. And
what did it do?
So it was Black Lotus, a game where mana is really important, right? Cast your spells.
Mm-hmm.
If you drew this, it's an artifact, the Black Lotus. It plays for 0 mana. It's a free play.
Okay.
It can be sacrificed, tapped and sacrificed to give you 5 mana of any color you want, and you can mix and match the colors.
I
It's
assume
5
that's a lot.
mana on your first turn. Imagine doing that in Hearthstone. You can play Yogg-Saron on your first turn.
3 mana,
Like,
but
it doesn't do
same. It's
Oh
point
yes,
same.
3. Okay, it's
It's
crazy because
incredible acceleration.
it allows turn 1 kills before the opponent gets to have their first turn.
I see.
And back when it was, so this was printed in the very first set alpha, and back then, right, trading card games did not exist at this point. Richard Garfield invented the genre with Magic the Gathering, and so in his mind, he was like, hey, I expect players are going to spend like $20 on my game, maybe 30, right? They're going to buy a deck, they're going to buy a few boosters to tinker with their deck, and, you know, they'll call it a day. So I'm going to make all these powerful, fun cards because I don't expect a lot of them to get, like, you know, I don't expect people to go out of their way to seek these cards out for their decks. I expect, like, hey, there'll be, like, one of these in the play group, and it's a cool, fun play when it hits the board, and that'll be the end of it.
How little he knew.
And this is also in the same set where they had what was it? Time Warp? Is that the name of the one?
Yeah,
That lets you take 3 extra turns
just
for 3
one,
mana.
just one, but it's
Okay.
the Power 9, as they were called, or the 9 super powerful cards that, you know, he was just like, oh, these seem fun, like, I'll put them in my game, and yeah. Hence leading to the saying, players will do what the game incentivizes them to do, even if it's not fun.
So in other words, the sweats took it over from the very beginning.
You know, it occurs to me they actually really could have done with consulting an economist before making that game, because
It's funny you say that.
there's an old joke among economists. Show me the incentive and I'll show you the behavior.
So Richard Garfield was a math PhD, not an economist, but he was a PhD. Just clearly in the wrong specialty for figuring out what players were going to do.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's also another old economist joke. An economist goes to a high-end party. As he's talking to this woman, he asks her, would you sleep with me for $10? Or, no, would you sleep with me for $10,000? One goes, well, maybe. Would you sleep with me for 10? Certainly not, replies the one. What kind of lady do you think I am? Madam, we have already established exactly what kind of lady you are. Now we are haggling the price.
There was I think there was also a group that got themselves kicked out of Vegas.
Oh, the card capitalists.
Oh, I love this. No, different one.
So
Different
they,
one.
The
it was like
American Physicists Association.
yeah, they booked their they booked Vegas was like where they chose to do their you know, big convention or whatever, because they're like,
Annual
oh,
convention.
the hotels are so cheap, like what a deal. And you know, they get there and they're given like their free chips or something to go into the casino. Vegas is expecting to make all their money back from dudes gambling once they're at the cheap hotel. And I think they all get together, talk for a minute, and then what, they go to like the roulette table or something, and like half the group puts all their chips on red and the other half puts them all on black.
No, not. So what happened was they broke for the night, went to the casino, gambled until they had lost all of the complimentary chips they got, and then turned in for the night.
Oh, I bet that made them mad. The owners, that is.
The hotel lost so much money that the American Physicists Association was permanently banned from Vegas.
Imagine getting owned by the Nerd Association.
It turns out the only way to win is not to play.
Where did they go? I had
The house always wins, baby. And the game was rigged from the. Wait, no, I got it wrong. Hang on, let me try again.
Yeah, the house
Truth
always
is,
wins.
Kid, The game was rigged from the start.
The house always wins, which is why you win by not
Bad
playing.
luck.
Sorry, I had something cool. The talk of Black Lotus reminded me of something cool I wanted to show you guys.
To show.
You actually have one.
In a sense.
Actually, so the Black Lotus effect is something that really ruins competitive games of any kind. Players have entirely too much time on their hands these days. They get super good at it. So you wind up, and even in the case where...
thank goodness. I did hang on to this, though. Okay, I couldn't remember if I had sold this or not.
Yeah, even when there is no cheating involved, you wind up with, you are a guy who's just spending an hour or two playing the game. Ooh.
I do have my original starter deck, Kaiba Blue Eyes.
Nice.
Very nice.
I was worried I had
Screw
sold
the
that
rules, I have green hair.
when I sold the rest of my Yu-Gi-Oh. Where did it go?
But yeah, you wind up in a situation where you are a regular guy playing for an hour or two on the weekends or whatever, and every lobby you go into, you're being put up against Shroud, who will snipe you from across the map because he saw 2 pixels twitch on a screen.
This is why we invented matchmaking. Also, back in the day, when you were doing online stuff, let's say we're playing like Battlefield 2 or something. Or actually, let me give you another example. Mountain Blade Warband. Remember when we used to play that?
Yup.
There were servers. You actually joined a server, and that server had players, and it had an admin, and whatever.
Yes.
And what would happen is there would be really good players, there'd be a bunch of okay players, and there'd be some really bad players, but it would kind of have this natural churn, and the good servers, what they would do is the players were mature enough to understand that, okay, we're not about trying to just stop noobs. They would not even just auto balance the team. They'd intentionally be like, okay, they'd change teams so that way all the really good players weren't on one team, right?
Yeah.
I was one of these people. So when we were doing these kinds of games, you would kind of just recognize the top like 10 or 15 really good. You see that guy? Oh, that guy's a really good crossbow guy. Oh, that guy's, don't get near him when he's got a halberd, that kind of thing.
Yep.
And so you would just kind of naturally sort out, and you end up with much better games that way because you could have a reputation on the server, and if you were enough of a jack-off, they would ban you, right?
Right.
Yep.
So it has a way of filtering out the people who are the turbo sweats, who don't know how to play nice with other people. And as somebody who's had a lot of experience playing Smash Bros. Over the years,
I was about to bring that up.
Hey, I've seen this happen many times in real life, and as somebody who's played way too much of that game, when I play with people, I don't just, it's you're playing a video game to have fun, aren't you?
Right.
So I don't just turbo stomp everybody in the face. Especially if they're newer players. It's literally like playing with your kids, right? You don't just suplex your child because you're an adult and they're a child, right?
Yeah. How else are they supposed to learn?
Well, there's a different kind of lesson there.
You suplex somebody else's child.
There you go.
Oh, I suppose
the idea is like you have this in the moment, you're with people in real life. That's completely gone when you're online. And I think that's why you see a lot more of this kind of like very spurgy behavior when it comes to online multiplayer. Nobody knows how to, and it's because partially it's also kind of hard to judge who you're playing against. But
well, I've got nothing against people playing to the best of their ability. I just don't like being matched with grandmasters.
You're gonna love this squirrel.
That's not a real one, is it?
It's a real one. It's a real Duel Masters one.
What? What? Excuse me, what?
So, Duel Masters, still produced to this day by Wizards of the Coast. unfortunately, only for the Japanese market. It got like I think a 2 or 4 year run in the States originally, and I guess didn't do well enough. They tried bringing it back, rebranded in the States,
There's
which was dumb. Still didn't do well enough, I think, because they rebranded it. But it's been going strong for like 20 some odd years in Japan. So occasionally they will do crossover cards. And in this case, they did it. The effect is actually closer, I think, to Mox Lotus. Um, but they printed it. They did a retro frame. Like the rules text is Duel Master rules text. Hence why it's got the 0 cost in the top, and then it can be, played in the monozone as a colorless land.
Does it do basically the same thing?
It's like Mox Lotus, so it's like it's got suspend 3. So you play it, and then 3 turns later, it auto casts itself and reduces the cost of your next spell by 3.
Okay, I mean that's still good.
Still
It's just
good.
less good.
They also
Not quite game
printed.
breaking.
They also printed old Emrakul in Duel Masters as well with a retro frame treatment.
That is cool. For just a bit of a catch up here, Emrakul, the Aeon's Torn, I don't think he's the fattest body that's ever been printed.
I think that
But
goes
boy,
to
is he the
Jumbo
most-
Cactar now.
Jumbo Cactuar has 9,999 attack
Yeah.
because Final Fantasy, but a 15/15 is like colossally moronically huge. You start the game with 20 HP, and he's got indestructible, like Annihilator 9. So whenever he attacks, you have to sacrifice 9 permanents. There's a bunch of other stuff. He's got protection from. Does he have protection from everything?
I think he has protection from colored spells, which
Yeah.
at that point in the game was basically everything.
It's a game ender for the Eldrazi set kind of thing, where it was all about playing these really big, fatty, colorless guys. They're like Space Invader aliens that are coming to eat everything.
Yeah, it was a really cool, like, traditionally up till this point in the game, colorless was not a color, it just represented artifacts. Really, like artifacts, robots, etc. And so the fact that they made a faction whose identity was like, no, this is colorless, and it represents eldritch entities from, beyond the normal world of 5-colored magic.
Which meant they could be in any deck.
Very expensive
I mean,
to
you
play.
still had to build with them, but like
Yeah.
they didn't have a color, so any kind of mana can be paid with color. Any colorless mana can be paid with any color of mana. Is basically how that works. That was actually right when I started playing Magic, when Zendikar was the current set. So I saw Emrakul's casted at Friday Night Magic in real life back in the olden days.
The other really cool thing they did when they brought the Eldrazi back for their Return to Zendikar set was they made a colorless mana symbol where it was still colorless, but you had to have colorless mana to pay it. So if you had colored mana, you couldn't use it to pay that portion of the cost.
Some special rules to limit it.
Yeah, so they made they didn't give it a type because it would screw with like domain and stuff, but they made a basic land called a Waste that produced tapped for 1 colorless mana. It was basically the closest you could come to making a 6th color in Magic without breaking the game.
So speaking of colorless, do Ultramen have colors?
Sort of. So, I mean, they've got the different colors of their suits, and then they will always have a color timer there to indicate when they're about to run out of energy. This game, I don't think this game uses... I don't know, I guess we'll see. I don't think this game uses colors. I think this game is relying on, I guess you'd call it tribal or character-based, where it's like, you're not going to run all the good cards because, like, you can't run all the good cards, because it's like, this one needs Tiga, and this one needs Gaia, and this one needs 7 to play. So I think this one's based more off, like, picking a few of your favorite characters and then building around them. So you've got, like, we have our level 1 Tiga here, presumably, and then he evolves into... Ooh, that's cool.
So it's a little more like Pokemon.
Yeah, he gets into stronger versions of himself, and I like that it's not all just like pictures of the suits or still frames from the show. I like that they were doing some artwork with it here. Level 2, level 2, level 2. Looks like we got a monster. Goblet. And then, oh, we have Blazer. That's cool looking. So I guess this must be like your like starting character deck or something because they've got the unique backing. And then this must be like your main deco cards here. With like your level 3. Oh wow, that is a cool foil treatment.
He's giving him the full elbow.
Give them an entire cubit. Oh yeah, because I think these are. I think there's 2 cards in here that are supposed to like go side by side or something. That is really neat foiling. Oh yeah, here we go. I think it's these ones here. There you go. The arts combined.
So these are like different guys.
These are like the level 3 versions of those guys we saw first. Still Tiga and Blazer. And like their level 3 forms looks like they get stronger depending on like if you I think if you evolve them, you get to use like the full strength there. I think if you like hard cast them or something, then you probably use their like lower levels of power.
The world of card games is a very large and fascinating place.
The Japanese ones are interesting because like this one's a bit different, but so many of them like Union Arena, like going back to Duel Masters is basically simplified Magic, and a lot of Japanese card games since then have basically been like 70% Duel Masters and then 30% like here's our. It's almost like Duel Masters has become a genre in itself, and a lot of Japanese card games are like here is our take on the genre. So a lot of things will be familiar, but we have our own twist on how we do it.
The entry that's so definitive it becomes the example.
I mean,
Yeah.
MTG is the Lord of the Rings of card games.
Yep, and Duel Masters is just simplified MTG. Oh, so here we got a foil effect where the background only is foily.
Those are kind of cool.
This is his transformation pose.
Hey, everyone's gonna have one, you know.
You got to do it.
It's right there in the contract.
So is he doing like a T for Tiga with his arms?
No, that's typically like the that's just like the classic Ultraman. Oh, here for the Zephyrian beam. So originally, the original Ultraman made the cross with his hands because the creator was Catholic, and so since then everything's been some variation of like crossed arms, whether it's like this like L shape here for you're about to lose to like the classic crossed arms one. A few of them had like head beams and stuff. They did different stuff for, but it's basically always been like crossed at the wrist or like touch your elbow to power up.
So it's a little bit like the is it a little bit like the thing with you know, Zelda when they got to like Link to the Past and whatever, they sort of purged real life religious imagery from the game?
Not at all. I mean,
Not at all.
you
Okay.
watched that Easter episode with us, right?
Yes.
They straight up were like, yeah, he's on planet Golgotha. Oh, like Golgotha from the Bible where Jesus died? Yes, that one.
Okay, I wasn't sure about the time frame of that, so they didn't go through that. They're kind of like that.
Yeah,
thing.
no, I don't think they've had any phase like that. It's always been like either super in your face like that, or just kind of like a subtle background thing of like the consistent premise of the show is like some human will heroically sacrifice themselves. Ultraman will be involved somehow, and he'll bring the human back to life and merge with them. Or occasionally it'll be like Ultraman falls to Earth and disguises himself as a human.
Yep.
And then he does like a sick T-pose.
Yep. Blazer's unique in being
I mean,
one of the first
the-
left-handed ones, speaking of Zelda.
The final soundtrack from the movie was literally titled Original Sin.
Rather on the ultra nose there.
Also, my favorite character from the movie, Mephilos. Just strike while the iron is hot. One of my favorite sayings.
They did a good characterization of him too, where he's even like, you guys can keep your government, run your country however you want. I just ask that you bow down and worship me.
Yep. All I require is that you acknowledge me as the supreme being, or supreme principle, I think was the term.
He's got the sword.
He is one of my favorite deal with the devil type characters. Because it does sound so very reasonable. And then during their climactic fight, he sees the destroying angel guy. What's his gold ultra guy?
Zoffy.
Yeah, that's the one. And immediately just goes, "Oh, didn't realize this world was spoken for. Okay, I'm off. See ya."
My plan will no longer work. Take care. What's really interesting with that storytelling choice is it's potentially inspired by a bit of old lore where in the original episode, or in the final episode of the original series, is when Zoffy and Zeton both show up. Zeton kills Ultraman, Zoffy comes to bring him back to life. So totally different character, but in like a guidebook at the time, there was a erroneous entry that was like, oh yeah, Zoffy, the master of Zeton, shows up.
So they decided to just run with it.
They were like, but what if he did? What if that's how it worked? Oh, that's cool.
I like that.
It's definitely like when you're doing something that's like not even like a reboot, really just like your own version of something, and you dig through like the old lore of the thing itself for inspiration.
Yeah.
I like it.
Taking things that could have been but weren't, and then
I think every
doing it.
card in this deck is foil. That's neat.
Like when done properly or respectfully, it's
Yeah, because and I think when it's being done as a standalone project instead of like this is the new Ultraman, learn to like it. I'm also like way more both interested and forgiving of like, what if we really changed up the lore here? Which is why I'm like, okay, you're making the world of light and Zoffy evil in this one. Like, if you were telling me like this is the new Ultraman and that's the lore now, I'd be like, this is dumb. But if you're like, we're doing it for this movie, I'm like,
not necessarily evil, just the strict by the book police captain sort of thing. Because after the ultra sacrifice, Zoffy does agree to allow Earth to continue to exist.
I know they're harder to read in the hand, but I like when card games find reasons to use the landscape printing for certain card types.
Yeah. Speaking of a new take on something that is not in any way respectful, Good. In the last couple of weeks, the late breaking news from the video game world. I'm not sure if you've seen this one.
I heard Battlefield 6 isn't doing well.
Now that's hardly surprising, to be honest. Disappointing, but not surprising. No, the breaking news is about Nier Automata.
Oh? We getting another new game?
Not a clue. No, like the actual game, Nier Automata, that came out 12 years ago. Because apparently, if you're like me and you played the game in English, you did not actually play Nier Automata.
Oh?
You played a fanfic titled Nier Automata.
How much did they monkey with the translation?
Enough that 2B, the main character,
Yeah.
is completely different.
Oh, no.
Like, in the version I played, which is the English one, she's kind of a B word.
Ah.
Like, hard-nosed, cold, dismissive, curt, kind of rude, if we're being honest.
You're not talking about me, are you?
No, Nier Automata.
Oh. Sorry,
The breaking news from the video game world.
Wait, there's a new one?
No.
Well, yes,
the original.
sort of.
Yeah, so someone made some Japanese person who also knows English made a post on this, and then it blew up, as things do. Apparently, they completely changed the characterization of the characters in the English version.
That's just like what's happened in more than one Fire Emblem game.
Yes, that did get brought up. But no, the 2B in the English version, bit of a jerk. You know, cold, dismissive, kind of callous, curt, lots of C words.
This is the robot
including
thing, right?
another 4-letter C word. The Japanese version, actually much more of a like shy, sometimes embarrassed princess type character.
Oh no, we can't have the cute character have a cute personality, can we?
That is exactly the justification the translator gave.
Really?
Yes.
Like,
He said that it's acceptable in Japanese culture to have that sort of thing, but in the West it has to be strong, independent female. And his defenders said that, well, if you don't like his creative vision, you can just play the game in the original Japanese. Except we can't. We can't even do that because the subtitles... Yeah, the subtitles use the English translation. Which is where this whole thing kicked off, because the guy was playing with Japanese audio, but reading American subtitles and realized, wait,
oh, this is way
this
off.
character is completely different.
Yeah, I've actually noticed that in some stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I'll catch that they used a word that's kind of like different enough that even I can figure it out, and I'm not any kind of like proper speaker of Japanese, mind you.
Yeah. Well, it's especially obvious when they decide to translate it with Zoomer speak. Because that's all they know in English, and they don't actually know any formal English words.
Is that a heckin' Nier Automata spot?
Yeah. Like, how on earth can we possibly convey an accurate translation in English without using poggers or inserting an Among Us reference?
So,
as jank as Yostar's localization for Arknights has been, we've been spared that at the very least. Like, instead we just get textual errors, they misspell things, the punctuation is not in the right spot, and there's just straight up entire sentences in Chinese still.
And yet, it still leagues ahead of so-called localization. Also, so translators are just slaves to the consumer or whatever, blah, blah, blah. No,
Yes, it's a job.
we have a creative vision. Well, then make your own. Oh, right, your creative vision sucks. So all you can do is parasitize off someone else. If you're going to translate. Don't localize.
Mod when?
Yeah.
I guess
The
I'll be-
only time that I would say localization is even vaguely acceptable is when there's a specific cultural element to it. Like Yankee in Japanese means a very specific type of movement with a countercultural thing, or like goth
Mhm.
in the American context means something very specific. Even then, though, that I would say you just don't even bother with it and you just use the word.
Yeah. That's what the
I think
translator
people
notes
figured
are
out
for.
with context. Do you remember when we used to get translator notes where there'd be like a frame or two where there's an entire paragraph on the screen?
Yes. I remember.
I liked those. Those actually were like really helpful. It's like, oh, this means this. Like, okay.
We
I
have a
remember
special marker
seeing
pack to
a
open.
screenshot of some anime. I don't even remember which one. But literally half of the screen was taken up with a translator note saying, the characters are currently in a D4Y Suisei dive bomber. And then gave a brief operational history of the Judy dive bomber. The plane's primary armaments were its twin forward-mounted 7.7 millimeter machine guns with a rear-facing turret 7.7 millimeter machine gun as well. It was capable of carrying a single 500-pound bomb, and so on and so forth.
Nerd.
Was this all to explain a joke that was about to be made, or just for the love of the game?
No, he was just explaining the characters are currently in a D4Y light carrier dive bomber.
Love of the game.
And then just listing the operational features of it. I appreciate that.
I remember back in the olden ancient days, I was watching like Bleach. And early on that had fan subs. And I'd see a lot of stuff like that. Because like they made a point of translating, because Shinigami is like death god, but
Right.
they made a note how they were going to start just using the word Shinigami, that you should just remember that.
Mm.
And they went back to that in text.
It does roll
That
off the tongue
works.
nicely.
Although wouldn't Reaper be a better
yes, and that one was also brought
localization?
up. I just don't remember because it's been like 14 years.
Fair.
Mm.
I think you could use Soul Reaper, and that's actually what's used in the official translation. That's arguably better, but
Because from what I understand, well, in the Western context, we hear Death God, we think something like Hades or Chernobog.
Yeah, ruler of the underworld kind of deal.
Hell.
whereas in Japan, it's the
HBO.
municipal government.
Yeah, Japan, well, there's a god under every. So Death God is more like the Grim Reaper for them. And they've got plenty.
He's a functionary. He
Psychopomp.
he does the reaping, as it were.
Kind of, except that the Psychopomp wasn't there to kill the souls, just guide them to the underworld after. Thanatos was the guy who actually killed him.
It's kind of like well, actually, there's a lot of examples of that. Dante gets led into the through the circles of hell by Virgil, the poet.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that is all the cards I have to open.
That's a lot of cards.
That is.
Hey, we only did an hour and a half tangent before we opened the first card pack. That's pretty good. Let's pat ourselves on the back, boys.
We've only spent 60% of this stream on tangents. Omedeto.
I'll have to lead with that next time. Just be like, this is a tangent stream. There will be cards at some point. That'd be actually that's not bad like visual noise for a for just chatting stream. Is just like I'll just start assembling my Magic the Gathering decks as the cards show up, and we'll just tangent
I mean,
about other
that's-
things and
would
occasionally
you say
rant about WotC.
Would you say it's best to consider this more as some kind of podcast? I know, but like it's mostly
No.
auditory.
I think
I do
that's
not
how.
participate in podcasts, and therefore this is not a podcast.
There you have it. I think a lot of our audience probably uses it that way, but there is the visual element for those inclined. See, look, we got a live 2D Fox Girl on stream. See, look, it even moves.
See, I'm not even going through the trouble of changing my like profile picture for every stream.
I could create a since it's usually the three of us anyway. I could create like a. I'll have to see if Fugia can let me like upload custom avatars for certain groups because I know it lets me, like regardless of what my Discord avatar is, I'm able to upload multiple like different Fugies to use.
Well, how else am I supposed to show off my collection of cursed flametail images?
Hmm.
You know, I still remember when we were doing the actual Arknights character analysis, Bagpipe came up and you just took the sitting animation and plonked it on top of scrolls, bro. Somehow that just worked perfectly.
Oh, I do
It
have
feels
one.
like so long ago.
I do have one Fortnite card in my decks but it's so on theme for the deck I allowed it.
What was it?
This guy from the Fallout decks.
Huh.
Isn't that from
I
the
didn't even know they
actual
made Fallout.
game Fortnite before it turned into Battle Royale Fortnite?
No, that's like
No,
Fallout,
this is from
the game.
Fallout.
Oh, you mean just
Yeah,
crossover type Fortnite?
yeah, crossover stuff. But they did a really cool
Gotcha.
treatment. You got the VATs pulled up. And then this is actually, so this, I don't mind when they use some stuff like this. So this is an existing Magic card, Gem Raiser. So it already existed in the world of Magic as a card. They just reskinned it. They put a Fallout skin on it. But I put it in my deck because I'm running an Infect deck. So a Toxic Sheep Squatch is perfectly on theme.
I will say, if you're going to do a crossover with CCG, that's the least odious way to do it.
Yeah, because then like
Just
the original name is still
basically
there.
make a reskin
Yeah,
cards.
yeah, and they gave it a cool frame treatment
Because-
here.
Yeah, because that way, if you want to use it, you can. And if you're not into that,
There's the original Magic version of the card you can play.
well, it's more. There is no card that's going to be meta because the card already exists.
Right.
It's like you're not going to have Grand be the most important card to take.
Yeah. This was they got a tattoo artist to do some illustrations for Magic cards that were all like tattoo themed cards already, like Inkmoth Nexus. So that was cool.
Interesting.
Do I have any other neat things in here? This is my modern deck, Black Green Infect. Because
You would have Phyrexian Crusader.
I
it's
take
such a
it
fun
that's
card.
Oh, I have deep enmity with this thing.
Aren't you gonna bolt me? Don't you want to use Path to Exile?
Shut your fat mouth. Oh, he thinks he's so funny. He can't be lightning bolted. Duh, I have protection for red. Duh, duh.
Back when they made real cards
Yeah.
with protection.
That-
Hey, at least it
That's
doesn't have double strike.
Has effect. That's almost worse.
Oh, I have the Glistener
That's
Elf
the effect elf.
Phyrexian version.
That's just 1/1 infect, right?
Yeah. What other neat things do I have in here?
The amount of games I lost to freaking Ink Moth Nexus.
Hmm. Oh, the decks have gotten even they didn't reprint Infect when they returned to Phyrexia. They changed it to Toxic, so it would be less toxic a mechanic. But then they
Did
still
it
gave me
actually make a
stuff
difference?
like this. Oh, you do want to lightning bolt it? You get a poison counter.
Okay, that's actually worse. That's worse.
This
That's
is
because if
still
you get 10 poison counters, you lose the game instantly. So it's like cast a spell, 1/10 dead.
I'm liking the sound of black more and more.
this is still only considered like a tier 2 deck, I think, because
It's actually green.
I'm not splashing blue for the unblockable one.
So basically, black has dots and life drain.
Black is basically like if you want to kill something, as long as it's not an enchantment or an artifact, black's your color. Black's basically like, black is basically creature destruction, um, hand discard effects, and then paying life for stuff.
So
Because winning with
what's
one
the
life is the
poison one
same
in
as winning
Slatus
with 20
Fire?
life. Oh, the
Poison chip?
assassin, the silent.
Yeah, the silent. That's one. Yep, that's always been my favorite.
Oh, wait a minute. Hang
Oh,
on.
and that's a really cancerous thing right
Hang
there.
on.
That's Phyrexian mana.
The spell skite trigger whenever a creature. Oh my gosh. Oh, it gets even better, Squirrel. You
I
target
hate
my
this. I'm so
creature.
glad I didn't play this.
Venerated Rot Priest triggers. I change the target to Spellkite. Venerated Rot Priest triggers again. If I have two spell skites, they just pass the trigger targeting back and forth between
Is
themselves,
that an
causing
instant
more
kill?
Rot Priest triggers. If I have enough life to keep paying for Spellskite, yes.
So Phyrexian mana is a special type of mana that, in this case, it's a blue Phyrexian mana. You can pay it with a blue mana or 2 of your life.
I love it.
So it's
So
not an instant
it's
kill
very
because
much a
if I
black thing.
at 20 life we would both die. But if I've gotten like
Yeah.
at least 1 or 2 poison on you already, then yes. And I can just cast something to target my dude and then just bounce it. I have to have the Rot Priest and 2 spell skites on the board for it to work. But
So the way around that is to try to remove them without actually targeting them specifically.
yeah.
I forget what's in the set that can do that, but this is where things like board wipes come in.
Well, we got old Pendlehaven here. The tree. Yeah, so like for example, this is Phyrexian green, so I do have green in this deck, so I can either pay green or pay 2 life to be able to cast it for, well, not free,
It's
but
basically a better giant growth.
it's only +2/+2. But for this
But
deck,
it's free.
it is
It's
better.
free, basically.
Oh, I got my Japanese Inquisitions of Kozilek.
Koji Rakuno.
Yeah, I don't remember this guy.
Shinmon. It's just hand disruption. Inkmoth Nexus.
Oh, there it is.
The Phyrexian Swamp. Oh, they they printed a. You remember Noble Hierarch?
That sounds really familiar.
They printed Ignoble Hierarch.
He's just doing the opposite side of the color pie.
Yeah, he's just the Jund guy instead of the Bant guy. Let's see. So yeah, they've started
I
doing
like
more
that.
cool art treatments of stuff. Japanese version of the same.
I thought it was always Birds of Paradise.
Make everything forests.
There's that one legendary card that made everybody's pants count as denim.
Oh yeah, so that if you had the denim walker,
Real card, by the way.
which led to the infamous ruling that taking your pants off was an instant speed action.
Also true. Now, do you want context with it, or are you just going to stew in silence?
Are you talking to me?
Tattoo artist
Yes.
also did pithing needle art.
No, I'm just thinking. If swapping clothing is an instant action, has anyone told women that?
Well, in any RPG, you can also usually change clothes instantly.
Just
I know
because
what you
it's
mean.
instant doesn't mean it's fast.
Yes.
Also,
Well, when
hello,
the
Cara
instant
Malone.
lasts for 15 minutes, and can we go already? We have a
No,
reservation
no,
at
no.
5.
It's not changing clothing that you can do at instant speed. It's removing clothing that you can do at instant speed.
Even then.
Yeah, I've seen it done pretty instantly, just saying.
Oh shoot! Hang on. I missed a voice call. Hang on. I think the wife is trying to summon me.
This might be a good place to call it.
Quick, let's talk smack while he's gone.
We'll have to get the tier list another time. Someday.
So we're thinking
Yes,
July.
We need to get it done before Enfield comes out, and we have an entirely new set of subject matter to never get around to.
This is
Hey,
true.
we'll
I
get
can't
through
wait
at
to
least
procrastinate into an entirely new game.
one Enfield character per stream. Or I'll just play Enfield and we'll just do it live.
That could work.
Just instant feedback. I like this character. I don't like this character. But I know what they're going to say next.
You know, and it's going to be nice because for once, we're all on the same page.
That will be fun.
Like I have some thoughts already, but I've very deliberately stayed away from all the beta footage and stuff that's been floating around because
So
I don't
my
want to get
rule-
my opinion from somebody else. You know, I want to get it for myself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was
One,
going to say,
I
what's
don't
your
get my opinions on
now that you
Two, my. Sorry, go ahead, Millie.
No,
Okay,
you go ahead.
Briefly, my rule: once I know that I'm going to get a game when it comes out, I'll just go out of my way to not see anything about it.
It usually
Because-
improves your enjoyment. Yeah.
Yeah, because either one, I'm going to inevitably what I see is going to be filtered by whoever is presenting it, and then I'm going to have to listen to their half-witted opinion, and I would rather glass this entire continent. Or I'm going to see it. I'm going to go, man, that looks awesome. I wish I was playing that right now. Oh, no, I have 2.5 months before I can play it. And then the screaming starts. So, like, I know that it's coming out. I know I want it. And once I learn the release date, I just try to ignore it and not think about it anymore. Something I've notably been failing to do with Menace.
Fair enough.
A squirrel.
Sorry, go ahead, Millie.
Would you like to share, since you've played even more of it now, would you like to share your thoughts on a contentious game with everybody?
Which game? one's the
Metroid Prime 4.
Oh. It really depends on what circles you run in. So this is actually I can tie this into Enfield. So with something there's both what a game is, and then there is the I don't want to say like perception of it, but basically like what's hot in the algorithm, you know what I mean? So with something like they back in 2018, they announced they were making another Metroid Prime. We're like, whoa, cool. It's been like 10 years. Fast forward another 8 years. They restarted development. Bamco was originally doing it. They brought it back to Retro, and Retro Studios, who's based in Texas, is not all the same people. They still have some of the people that were in the original 3, but it's still a lot of new people. It's not like Bungie levels where everyone's replaced, but a chunk of them are. So as I look back on it, I enjoyed playing, because random Metroid Prime 4 review. Here we go. I enjoyed playing it, and I think it lands solidly as decent. I have a laundry list of things I don't like as far as creative decisions go, but it's a game that I was like, even after I started, I'm like, man, I want to play more of this, but I also intentionally want to pace myself. I don't want to sprint through the game in like 2 days like all the streamers did. I also think every single person who streamed that game liked it less because they'd have a chat screaming at them the entire time. And secondly, it's a game that really requires you to actually be like, A, shut up, and B, pay attention to what's actually happening. So after I finished the game, I went and watched some other people who had played through it. Literally, the act of simply streaming the game made it worse. It's not a game that's well suited to that. And I could see, I really would love to see some of the earlier versions of it and like some of the changes and decisions they made as they went about it. Because it's like it's 2 games at the same time that are trying to do very different things. I think the better one is more of it. Because it's got this... Apparently, it did start originally as trying to be an open world game, and I think they pivoted away from it. Which is, I don't know even how you make an open world Metroid. I would have loved to see what they were thinking, but
because it's kind of,
I don't know.
Not that it'd be bad for Metroid to like do more with the genre, but it's like open world is like the exact opposite of the Metroidvania experience.
Yes, they're every single one of them is a very linear game, and it's like, how well do you disguise that? And it's all about how you build that world you're going, because you're getting power-ups and they unlock a thing and you go to the next place. Basically what Prime 4 has is it has Hyrule Field from like Ocarina, where it's like you've got one main section that leads to the other areas. And if I compare that to Prime 1 and 2, I think that it just doesn't, at the end of the day, come together as well as in terms of like the whole planet and the world that you're going around in terms of just
how
like...
are the story and characters?
I think that I see what they're going for. I think it's mostly an error in execution, but also an error in... It's probably best just to have less talking of these kinds of games. Because like when Metroid does its stuff well, which is funny because they just did this in Dread like 3 years ago, so it's not even that recent. Or sorry, it's not even that long ago. There's very little talking, and they're doing the storytelling without dialogue, which is actually exactly what I'm just repeating myself now. But I get what they're trying to do with the Marines. I actually don't hate the Marines. Miles does need to shut up more, but it's let me this way. I don't sense malice in its craft like you do if you look at like a modern Halo. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just more.
Just tried to be entertaining, and
they don't stick the landing. What they do stick the landing on is actually the moving and the shooting, and Metroid can crawl, Metroid can turn into a ball, Metroid shoots. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All of that stuff is actually the best the series has ever done. It's got the best movement. It's got like it is so smooth, and I'm like, okay. They've also got the best boss fights for the most part of the entire series. So this is why I say that I think it's largely for at least from my enjoyment of it, gets most of its credit for the fact that moving around is fun and it is cool. I played both Metroid Prime 1 and 2 within like the last like year or two, so I have some pretty recent experience from those two. They've definitely improved, and there is actually still more room for improvement, right? I think that most of it has to come down to the design of like what the world looks like and how do you this is without going into like even more. I don't want to go into too much detail on some of the smaller bits, but they have a bunch of these really cool sections, but you don't do a lot of the same kind of backtracking. I think they were deliberately trying to avoid backtracking because people whine about it all the time. But it also means once you go to one of the areas, you don't really have a reason to go back there other than picking up a couple missile expansions. And comparing that to like Prime 1 or 2, where you'll actually revisit areas more than once throughout the game, as you traditionally tend to do in these, because here's like this one part where there's going to be another key item here, and it's like right near the start of the zone, but you can't get there because you don't have this key item, and you can see it though, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think they've got that vibe down in Prime 4. And the other M is, let me put it this way, other M is still stands as like, this is how you don't make a Metroid story. But
here's a fair version of Black Lotus.
It's still really strong.
It is. I'm just fanning through my pre-modern decks while we chat.
So I kind of look at it this way. It's like, it depends on, did you, and I will use this very intentionally, were you primed to be mad about video game? And that's kind of what a lot of, and people are already kind of,
a lot of the discourse these days.
Yeah, so people are already kind of like, they've moved on to the next thing to be mad about. All the YouTube video essayers went and they made their like slot videos about why it's like the Prime 4 like kicked their dog and it's the worst thing that's ever been made.
I have noticed,
and then they just moved on to the next thing already because that game's a month old, which
there's a large
internet terms
portion,
is like 1,000 years ago.
There's a large portion of the internet these days that gets their opinion on a thing entirely from 30-second clips of it or 4 or 5 screen grabs.
And Retro did not do themselves any favors by having Miles talk in the first part of the game. If we had met Miles later, he only made me groan once. That's still once more than I would have liked, but
unfortunately,
all of his
a lot of
bits are super front loaded, and then it turns into like Twitch clips with 500,000 views.
Yeah, and the worst part is a lot of the time you actually can tell that something sucks from 30 clips of it. These days it's not exactly so we have a shortage of it, but
so I put it very much because when I grade games, oh sorry, don't want to talk about it.
No, just occasionally you've got a show or a game that's actually good, and let's be real, I could make anything look bad with a 30-second clip from it.
This is true. So these days, I've kind of been like tossing over this idea. Instead of giving games a number score, I use a word to describe it. Because I think that people tend to they hear a number and they think of it like a school grade. If you get a 70% in school, that's bad, right?
Right.
Whereas if you look at it from a strict bell curve, 50% is dead average, but in school that's a complete fail. So people have this mixed up idea of what the number means. They think 10 is perfect, and they think like 7 is bad. It just muddies the waters, and it becomes difficult to communicate with people what you actually mean.
Yeah, like an average game should be. Yeah, an average game should be average, and it's okay for it to exist.
I have a long history of liking games that are really like they have a lot of problems and they're not that good. I think Code Vein is one of my favorite games. It's not like it is full of problems. That's the anime Weeb Vampire Dark Souls thing from 2018.
Oh, okay. I've seen that pop up a few times.
It's actually like it's got some good parts to it. It is getting a sequel this month. I like it despite its flaws, and I'm the kind of person that replays games. You know, the fun is greater than the sum of the frustration. Is kind of how I would describe it. And so Prime 4 to me sits in this. I put it solely. It is decent. It is not great, but it sits in decent, and I look at it as a case study of missing beats where there's a lot more potential with what they were trying to do, and frankly speaking, for a series that they had made a game, like they hadn't made a Prime game, a 3D Metroid, in like 12 years or 15 years or whatever it was. If this is their first one back and it's not, it's like it actually has so much going on right, and the problems I think, rather than being the controls being bad or like Prime 3, it's just sort of a. I think the problems are a lot more fixable. Is kind of how I describe it.
More
So
like
I think-
basic game design philosophy.
I look at it and it's like I think that they have the potential to do a lot better. And frankly, you know, I go in, I spend the $70, whatever it was. I'm not like mad that I spent that money. It was worth my time, is kind of the way I would describe it. It clears the threshold, and partially also this is a little bit of vindication for myself of like, even before the game came out, I start hearing people starting to whine. I'm like, the game hasn't even come out, guys. What are you whining about? And I was expecting it to kind of be this, and then I ended up, unfortunately, being correct that a lot of it's just the YouTube negativity algorithm at work. And I'll say again, I have a number of things, actually quite a number of things that I don't think they did right. And I could make my own 2-hour YouTube video essay, but I don't hate myself, so I won't. But I could make that about like, here's all the stuff they didn't do right, while still saying I think the game was more fun than it was not. And so I put it in that same ballpark as something like Code Vein, where it's generally I liked it and I will play the sequel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's-
and
You
these
can always
people,
find quality of life things to nitpick over. Like there's very few
Yeah, and it's
games
like I
that get
have
everything
a
right.
list of things I can complain about in DMC5, and that's like my favorite game of at least the last decade, if not ever. It's up there, the top 3. And you can really only explain it to people who really know that game and understand it well too, because they're so specific and in the weeds. It's like, here's the room for growth for like a someday DMC6, which I am sure Capcom's going to screw up in some way. It's just what they do. Whereas, let me actually give you another example of a game that also I played somewhat recently because I just had some free time and it was on sale and I wanted to make my own opinion. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. We'll get to Enfield in a second. There's a game that came out for PS5 last year. It was their big thing of the year. Any guesses what that might be?
Battlefield.
Not Battlefield. It was a PlayStation 5 exclusive.
Oh, God of War.
Spider-Man?
No, Stellar Blade. That's
What
the
was
one
that
that
game
was.
again?
That's the action game. It's a Nier clone, and it had like the really hot Korean chick they use as the model.
Oh, yeah, the one where they used an actual model and people complaining about it being.
Yep. So, yeah, it's on PC, and that's where I played it. Stellar Blade's another example of. This is a game I actually don't recommend, and it doesn't come from a sense of like the creators hate us, or woke or something like that. It's nothing like that. It's just I found it frustrating. I have not finished the game because I just don't want to play it anymore. And you know me, I love action games.
Yep.
It's just they are, and I can tell it was a game that was made with dedication. The developers put a lot of effort into it. There's a lot of really cool little touches here and there. There's a lot of stuff to appreciate, but it comes down to it's just not that fun.
I was going to say, thinking of the few actual gameplay clips I saw, it just didn't look that fun. It looked very.
It isn't. Well, okay, it has its moments where it really you'll be like, "Wow, that's really cool," but
I use the term advisedly. It looked mid, extremely mid.
I would, if I were to use this, maybe more the language I would use is it's very, very average. It's not bad. It's just it doesn't live up to the potential of like what I can tell the effort that was put into a lot of this stuff. It just does not get up to that height. And because its core thing, the combat just doesn't have. It's like almost there. It's frustrating because they almost have something that's like really, really good, but there's just a few things that make it more frustrating than fun. And so it's the opposite of, at least in my estimation, of kind of like with Prime 4, where it has its frustrating parts, but it's more fun than frustrating.
Like I said,
Stellar Blade flips on the other side of it, and like they make you do so many. It feels like it's trying to be like 8 games at the same time as well. It's got a lot of different. They make you do platforming, which isn't great. It's like it's not a. it's like Assassin's Creed platforming where you like climb on walls and stuff. It has jumping puzzles, which could be really annoying because the chick, when she moves, has this weird inertia to it because of the animations, and so she will just step off of ledges and like move onto landmines constantly, and it's just very frustrating. The dodges are really jank. It's like Elden delay, right? Where like enemies will do this stuff where they'll kind of like float in the air for a half second, or they'll spam you really fast. Yeah, it does have Ubisoft Tower. It has something like Ubisoft Towers. And it has Resident Evil sections where you only have a gun and you're going through corridors and there's like baddies coming around and they're like, oh, and they're coming out of the dark and they're gonna like spit poison vomit on you or whatever. Oh, and there's Helldiver puzzles to unlock chests. Those were the easy part. Like I can punch in some number keys or not some. I can punch in some arrow keys like nobody's business, right? So yeah, it's long story short, that's kind of where like Stellar Blade is. It's again, I played it myself. I form my own opinion. That's my opinion. I don't recommend it unless you really, really, really like action games. I don't think it would have made as much of a splash or sold as well if they didn't just have a really hot chick be the main character. It's really carried by that in as far as like marketing and stuff goes. So as we go from here to Enfield, you know, to tie it back together, I think that, and forgive me if I'm monopolizing and tell me to shut up if you need me to, I'm on my soapbox. When it comes to like Enfield, I think my recommendation to people, you know, viewers, past and not past, but current and present potentially, is just don't pay attention to what any of the YouTube people are saying. The game's free to play. You don't have to pay to, you know, just play it. Make your own opinion. Don't download your opinion from an influencer. I'm already seeing poll guides on YouTube, and I'm like, how do they even know the game's not out yet? It's like, people are just the people who make YouTube videos for a living, or at least as like part of a living. They're just pushing things
hungry.
Too much, man. Hungry, yeah. It's a highly anticipated release. I get it. There's a lot of eyeballs. Hypergriff paid a bunch of streamers to play it.
Oh darn! I missed out on that.
Yeah, I know. Me too.
It's probably because I said the T word.
You did. You said the Taiwan word. How dare you? But yeah. So I'll put it this way: just ignore that stuff. Just play the game, and I don't. There is value in talking about it with other people, but I would recommend just disengaging from like the YouTube side of that kind of thing, or like Reddit, for instance, because those people are morons. I can already tell that I guarantee you within a week, we are going to have the first 2 to 3 hour-long YouTube video essays about why Enfield's the worst game ever made. It kicked their dog and unplugged their grandma's life support. And you kill yourself if you like it. Basically, that's like where every single thing that comes out gets that. Every single thing. That's just what it's going to be. So I'm saying this, I just totally expect that the game's going to come out. There's going to be a bunch of videos where people are like, whoa, this is so exciting. And then we're going to get to the next week and this is the worst thing ever made and you should hate yourself. This happened with Tears of the Kingdom. This happens with every single game that comes out. So if you unplug yourself from that cycle of like, basically it's just like emotions, then maybe you can decide if you like it or not yourself. I can already tell that the discussion forums are starting to just be camped by people who have I think there's paid shows everywhere too. So there's that as well. Yeah.
Well, also, Martel, if you're still looking at the camera, I've got some quintessential black cards here from my mono black deck.
Nice.
So
that's a classic.
This is about this is black in one card here. It's not Necropotence, but it's the poor man's Necropotence.
I'll say to Caramello, I have not decided if I actually like hate or like the characters of Stellar Blade. I'm just super divided on them.
So basically, I will trade life for card advantage cards. I will trade life for aggressively costed creatures. This is a pre-modern deck, so like it'd be even more insane nowadays. But this is a good card in pre-modern. It is 2 power for 1 mana, and basically paying a life every turn to keep your zombie around.
Nice.
Or again, I will create a zombie, but if I ever run out of zombies, I start dying. Hand disruption, and this was back in the day. They used to have real world flavor text on the cards. It made me so happy because it liked it. And like, highbrow.
Super early Magic has
Yeah.
this nice earthy kind of tone to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was before
Not
that,
right.
like, the Magic IP, per se. Like, they were developing their own worlds pretty early on, but, like, there's still, like, this connection. Like, the very first expansion was Arabian Nights, based off of Arabian Nights. Like, it was a mix of its own thing, but also, like, very honest about, like, here's where we got our ideas from. You just had, classic archetypes like the Black Knight and the White Knight that could never
Your
actually
arms
fight
off.
each other. Magic didn't get rid of flavor
It's
text.
just a
They
flesh
just
wound.
stopped doing. They stopped doing real world flavor text. You had the Bible on like Segovian Leviathan had the quote from the Book of Job. Dirkwood Boars had the part about the possessed swineherd, or the possessed herd of
It's kind of
swine.
like how Zelda, they took the Trinity and just turned it into triangles.
This is a funny card. It's like terrible, but it gets the job done when you really need it done. Get rid of all of your cards to make someone lose 5 life.
Nice.
But
Yeah,
it's
that's
in
the classic,
black.
like, horrible black card that
But sometimes you really just need them to lose that last bit of life, and you're not playing red, so you don't have access to direct damage otherwise. At least not in these quantities from a single card.
As far as the real world quotes go, there's actually a game called Terra Invicta, which is about an alien invasion. And
right, that one.
in addition to some quotes from the usual suspects like Carl Sagan, they've got a fair chunk of biblical quotes, which I just think is... It's not quotes and references that I object to precisely. It's that nothing is highbrow anymore. Like if you were quoting Shakespeare or Tennyson, that's one thing. But just endlessly repeating 6-7 is another thing entirely.
Oh, you had straight up Bible cards back then. Swords to Plowshares.
There you go.
And then
I see what they call this pre-modern.
this is no, sorry. This is black.
Wow,
Very
that
cheap.
sucks.
Very powerful. Sure hope. This is why it's in my sideboard. Once I confirm they're not playing red, I side them in.
Oof.
Otherwise, Lightning Bolt is deal 3 damage. Target player discards 3 cards.
No, not even discard. It's sacrifice permanents.
Oh, yeah. Even worse.
Any permanent. Your lands are not safe.
So I can nuke your mana base.
Yeah. But if they're not playing anything with direct damage, you can turn 1 Negator off of Dark Ritual and smack them in the face next turn for 5.
All right. I think I might turn in here.
Yeah, I think it's a good place to wrap it up. I'm going to go help do some cleaning.
All right.
All right. Thank you, too, for coming. Thank you for everybody that stopped in. If Kirsha's still streaming, we'll raid her. Let's see.
Do you think we'll once what do you think our next more yapping might be.
Maybe this
I don't know what your
weekend.
weekend's looking like.
I think my weekends are pretty open. Let's see.
All right, well, we can coordinate as we get later in the week then, because I know I'm looking pretty good.
Oh, she's not still streaming. Darn.
Well, hopefully something pre-Enfield.
Yeah, because yeah, we'll probably all want to enjoy Enfield on our own.
Yeah, I am trying to decide if I want to stream that or not. I'm not sure yet. I don't have to
I,
decide until next Thursday. So
I might stream it, but I understand if you guys don't want to join in so that it's not so you can preserve your
trust me,
experience.
I will be ahead of you.
Oh, that's
Yep.
fair. Actually, you're right.
I will be ahead of you, guaranteed.
I'll be getting off of work early on Thursday to just go home and play it. So we'll see. Maybe I'll stream. Maybe I won't. I won't decide until the day of, basically.
All right. Well, it's been good. Yeah, I want to get one more in January at least. So I think I need to stream some Void War 2. That game has been fun so far.
We'll have to
May.
fit in Ace Combat 7 sometime before the next game
Yeah.
comes out
I'll
too.
have to
But that's probably not till like May or June.
probably expect some gorillas where I may like if I'm finding myself the only one awake at night gaming anyway, I may just hit go live and
Nice.
hop in if you like. All right. Take care, everybody.
Ta-ta for now.
TTFN.